Hello. Welcome to a Blockbuster year 1985. I'm Brandon Mandel. With me always is Jay Ryan. Tonight we are talking about the most terrifying film of 1985, Return to Oz.
Oh my God.
Let's pop in the tape. Okay. We have a very special guest with us tonight. I'm a big fan of his. He has a wonderful weekly live show. He's a collector, he's a podcaster. He is a wealth of knowledge when it comes to collectibles, geekdom, fandom. It's Mr. Jay Glatfelter, Geek Dad Life. Welcome to the show.
Hello. Thank you for having me. Excited to be here. Loved all the production. Did you just have a VHS copy of Return to Oz at the ready?
Always.
Yeah.
Or did you go out and like buy one in preparation for this episode?
No. So, Jay, my main collection is movies.
Okay.
Like,
I gathered.
Yeah. And then on the other side is all VHS.
Okay. All right. No, I'm a big fan of physical media. But the tough part is like the space, and I love VHS tapes as well. I have it's not a whole wall of VHS tapes, but like if I find a good, clean, nice copy, I will pick it up.
Yeah.
I've been on the lookout for a Return to Oz tape, but I have not found one yet. But no, I love this setup here. This is cool.
Yeah, this is like the 1999 or something.
Yeah,
This
it's
is
a later version.
The anniversary release done by Anchor Bay, not Disney or Buena Vista Distribution.
Mhm.
Anchor Bay licensed out a couple of, let's say, unpopular Disney movies to put out on tape, and this is one of those.
That's a good. I love the cover on that, because for me, VHS, it's like the same as like a record. Just the artwork is where it's at, and it's the canvas that the VHS tape allows, especially the clamshells. Like, so that looks really good.
Yeah, it's a nice clean one.
Yeah.
This is not the Clue episode, but I'm at my aunt's house in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, still on the road on the big USA Grand Tour, and they happen to have the Clue board game just over there, and I couldn't help but look at it. So I figured I'd.
Is that the one from the movie?
Props, Brandon. I figured I'd hold up some props.
Yeah, that looks like I wonder what year that is.
That feels 90s. The artwork feels 90s for sure.
It feels very 90s to me as well. My glasses are not in here, and it's not bright enough to tell you.
Okay. You know what's funny is that I actually was going to sort of talk about the Clue episode, because one of the things that I found because we did Clue was like episode 3.
Okay.
And I found this documentary made by a fan covering Clue. And the information in the documentary was wonderful, but the documentary was not made very well. Do you remember that documentary?
I don't.
Jay Ryan, he watched the documentary. He found it too. There is a documentary called Remembering Return to Oz, which I found while doing all my research.
Who on earth is remembering this?
Oh man, it is even worse than the Clue documentary. The information is really good because they get interviews with Walter Murch and Gary Kurtz and Maruza Balk, like all these people on the production side, but the documentary is so it's so hard to watch. So I did watch it for information, but it's funny that you had the Clue board game.
I'm not a huge fan of generative AI, but that could have been one that would have been helpful. It's like, hey, can you watch this for me and take all the notes so I don't have to watch it?
Yeah. Okay, here's the honest truth. I started watching it and then realized, you know what? There is no reason for me to be watching. It's literally nothing but talking head interviews, really badly edited together. I was like, you know what? I don't need to watch this.
Just listen.
I'm just listening to it. So then I was doing some work. Actually, Jay, the photo that I was on the roof. I was fixing a roof leak today.
Brandon's had a day already.
So I'm out there putting this goop on our garage roof, listening to the Remembering Return to Oz documentary, thinking like there is not one other person in the world who's had this situation, fixing a leaky roof and listening to Return to Oz
Nope.
information.
That's an original thought, an original happening,
like
Brandon.
You found an online community though that actually was that group of people, you know?
Yeah. There's
Like
there's even
forum.
special features. I had to pay $10 for it, so I might delve into the special features.
Where was this documentary? Like what
was-
service had this for $10?
Where
on their
wasn't it that you
website.
decided to spend $10 for it?
I found their website and it was able to be rented, but I was like, you know what? If I just buy it for $10, I can download it and listen to it as opposed to like try to stream it. So I was like,
Okay.
I'll give them my $10 because the information, the people that they were talking to, I deemed it worthy to contribute to their film in order to get the information.
Wow. That's dedication. Much respect, mad respect for that.
Thank you very much.
You put into it. I read a Wikipedia page today. That was the level.
And you know what's funny is that I did go back and review that Wikipedia page, and a lot of that information.
What were the inaccuracies? Yeah, what was the?
You know, for the most part, I think it's very, very accurate.
Okay. Okay.
Because the other thing that I read, and I wasn't able to actually find the issue. But one of my favorite things is Cinefex magazine. I'm going to add this up here.
Oh, yes.
So this is issue 22 of Cinefex magazine. Somebody has cataloged all of the Cinefex magazines on Internet Archive. So if people are special effects, fiends like I am, Cinefex magazine is the best. So between this issue, which a lot of my information came from, and this documentary and interviews, I'm sure it's the same stories they're telling.
Yeah.
All of that, I think, has kind of been boiled down to what's on the Wikipedia page. And the only inaccuracies I kind of noticed were just like numbers, especially like box office.
Okay.
Stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, well,
and Jay, nice to meet you. Thank you very much for doing
the show.
Yes,
I was gonna say, like, Jay, I'm such a huge fan of you, and and obviously I came to you through YHS and Toy Anxiety. I have to tell you, now that I'm talking to you in person, I was such a fan of the trial of the century, you and Craig on Judge Steve Harvey. So, Jay Ryan, just a quick backstory. So Craig, who we had on the Teen Wolf episode, he's on the Toy Anxiety channel started this, sort of talking about this feud with another toy seller online. Then it came out. And keep in mind, like, this is all planned like weeks and weeks in advance.
Oh no, we filmed the episode, I think, almost a year before we could actually set it up.
Oh, before premiere day,
until like over a year after we filmed it.
So this is this big elaborate plan that Jay has on his Geek Dad Life channel, and Craig and the Toy Anxiety crew have on their channel.
What is it? Geek Dad Life? I'm going to follow it right now.
Yeah, Geek Dad Life. So Craig mentions that he got scammed by a toy seller. And everyone's like, oh my God, like that sucks. Like, what happens to all of us. And then it's like teased that it's like somebody in the community, somebody that it's known. And then it comes out that it's Jay, and Jay sold Craig some Ghostbusters figures that Craig thought were mint on card. But the whole thing was Jay sold Craig figures that were mint with card. And this is all this big, like, thing in the community. Like, I'm literally getting goosebumps right now, Jay, talking about it, because it really, like, it legitimately affected the community.
It did. It pissed so many people off.
Yes, and people were like taking sides.
The thing is, the problem was, and I'm glad Dole's in the chat as well. They sold it like way too well.
They were so good.
They like the kayfabe was so strong.
Yeah.
And but in my mind, I was like, this is the stupidest thing ever. Mint on card and mint with card. Like, it's so absurd.
And
you
so,
know,
so this is a few weeks. You know, Jay's doing stuff on his
yeah.
channel. Toy Anxiety is doing stuff on their channel, and this is all an elaborate ruse for Geek Dad Life and Craig from Toy Anxiety are going to be on Judge Steve Harvey's TV show, and you know, you were the defendant.
I was the defendant.
Yes,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
so Craig was the plaintiff, and he
Mhm.
was like, he was essentially suing Jay for the TV show.
Outstanding.
And it was unreal. At one point, I did text Ryan Dole from Toy Anxiety, friend of the show, and say, like, dude, either this is so real or the best prank you are playing on the audience. I'm so on board for everything. So I know that you guys, you know, maybe feel it a little bit differently because it affected you at a certain point, but I just want to be on the record and say, like, I was such a fan of it and absolutely loved every second of it.
No, I appreciate that. I mean, the thing that's hilarious to me, and I feel bad for anybody that like got really, because a lot of people got really upset.
Yeah,
Um,
fair enough. It was done
but
so well.
which again, that was just a bad read by me and Craig, because we just thought it was the funniest thing. We had the best time. Like, we literally had the best time. And it was all just built out of, I had a friend that was a casting agent for that show, and she was like, hey, we're looking for like weird nerdy beefs that people could sue for or something. And so I was like, oh man, I feel like Craig and I could come up with something. So I not slacked him, God, I'm still my corporate mindset, but I sent him a message, and it was like, hey, like, we need a nerdy beef. Like, what can we come up with? And that was the thing. And the thing is, we had to sell it to them. Like, we had to do a mock trial and everything.
Yeah.
With the producers and casting agents and stuff. So it had to be a believable story.
Yeah.
It was all made up. And we actually, the thing is like, in those shows, a lot of them are kind of either slightly real or just straight up made up for those judge shows. But the producers give you the money, like, if they, judge it in your favor.
Yeah.
So the goal originally for Craig and I was like, we need to have like countersuits. So no matter what,
You get paid.
we'll get paid.
Yeah.
But Judge Steve Harvey didn't have any of it. He threw out both of.
Yeah.
Well, they threw out my case before they even got in, and then they threw out Craig's case. So all we got was like our little stipend for the trip and everything. But
It's
amazing.
just, it's so cool. It was so awesome to see you guys on Judge Steve Harvey. Like, what a hilarious thing to have happened.
Prime time television debut.
Prime time television. There was literally an amazing screenshot of Craig holding up a Ghostbusters action figure in a Ziploc bag. Like, it's so great. Yeah, it's so
what's
good.
great is, like, I didn't want to send a set of he already had the figures, so those were his figures.
Yes.
And then I had card backs, so then my card backs were the with card, and the figures were his figures. It's
so great. Before we get into this movie, let's just quickly say hi to this chat, because there is a lot of people here that Bitter Troll is here.
Agreed, Bitter Troll.
What's this? Dorlathian? I think that's
Dath or Datherian.
Datherian. See, these are people from the Geek Dad life.
But these are people who get it. Time to cobble together some furniture into a monster.
Exactly. Ryan Dole, the legend. Steve 3.
What's up, Steve?
Who else do we got here? Oh, Oregon Goonie Dave is here. Hey, Dave. Great to see you again. Video Power Gaming. Thank you for coming and checking out the show. We got Honey Wizard. Thank you for being here.
Nice.
Yeah. So we are here to talk about Return to Oz. This is a...
Had anyone seen it before?
Oh, yeah. I've seen... I love it. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert, I love it.
Yeah, I guess do we want to like share like our stories about our experience with it?
Please do. I mean, quickly for me, I didn't see this when I was young. I came to this movie much later.
Okay.
I myself am a massive fan of The Wizard of Oz, the 1939. I would say it's one of my favorite movies. It is a movie that, like, I will put on just for fun or anytime it's on TV. Actually, speaking of physical media, I did pull I pulled every version of Wizard of Oz I have, just for
Oh
fun.
hell yeah!
So this is here. I'll make myself.
Yeah, you gotta zoom in here. Yeah.
There. So this is the original home video release of Wizard of Oz.
Nice.
This is somewhere early to mid
Well, that's
80s.
definitely Canadian though, because that G is different than our G.
Yeah. You know what? Here's the thing. I actually think it might be European because
Okay.
I can't play this tape.
Oh, is it a PAL or
This
whatever?
is a PAL, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
And then this is 1989. This is the 50th anniversary.
Okay.
This one has a little booklet with it inside
Yep.
the flap. Really nice tape because it's got the witch looking at the ruby slippers.
Yep.
And then this is actually the one that I grew up with in my house.
Okay.
This is the 90s version of Wizard of Oz. Then I got my first DVD box set for the 70th anniversary.
Ooh, beautiful.
Then in I think this is 2012, 2013, somewhere around there, came out in 3D. So this is Wizard of Oz in 3D.
You have a 3D TV still?
Literally right here in this room.
Amazing.
It's one of my pride and joys is this 3D TV.
Oh, yeah.
I will hold on to this thing forever. I love a 3D TV. This I saw IMAX 3D. It was amazing. And then this is the 4K 80th anniversary version of Wizard of Oz. And there's a new one now, I think 85th anniversary. So I've always loved it, but for some reason I never saw Return to Oz growing up. And partially because I think it was maybe just harder to find in the 90s and 2000s.
Yeah, I'd probably say so.
Then, Wizard of Oz played on TV all the time. There was ample copies available everywhere. All of my grandparents had a copy of Wizard of Oz at their house, so you could always watch it.
Yeah,
but I think I saw it for the first time maybe only like 5 years ago.
Oh wow, so relatively recent.
Yeah, relatively. Yeah. I'd heard so much about it over the years, how dark it is, how scary it is, and I mean, we'll get into it, but I'm a big fan of the movie The Craft, and I always knew that one of the actresses from the movie The Craft was the lead girl in Return to Oz.
Oh wow, okay. Oh, that's right. Yes, of course.
Yes, Dorothy from
yeah, well, I knew her when I went to see Waterboy. I was like, hey, Dorothy from Return to Oz.
Exactly. So yeah, that's kind of how I came to Return to Oz. What about you, Geek Dad Life?
BDLJ. So similar to you, was obsessed with Wizard of Oz as a kid. I'm an 85 baby, born in 85.
Oh wow, congratulations. Happy 40th.
Fitting to be on
Happy 40th, nice.
Yeah. I have a 40th edition box set of me that just dropped. But my parents were not good with money, and they would buy stupid things they don't need, like a VCR, which were really expensive then. Really but VHS tapes were really expensive in the 80s.
Yeah.
But we did own a handful of VHSs, and one of those VHS that they got for me when I was either 2 or 3 years old was The Wizard of Oz. And actually, I have what I grew up with here that was released in 1985.
Yeah.
I have it here shared if you want to pull it up right now on the screen. But this was the VHS copy that I had, the Video series, and played this tape over and over and over again. Was absolutely obsessed with it. This artwork is seared into my brain. Because again, go ahead.
That is the very first home video release of Wizard of Oz.
Is it? Okay.
That particular tape, yes.
And so
it's the flap box with the tape. I have a couple of them. Like MGM and Warner Brothers tapes that they're in a box with the flap opening up, similar to a clamshell.
Clamshell. This has to be later because it's a clamshell.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So it's a little bit later than the original.
Yeah.
But
so maybe it was like a
second or third edition.
Actually, this tape,
but definitely early 80s for sure.
Yeah. So I think we had maybe 4 or 5 tapes. So this one was on heavy rotation.
Yeah.
But so yeah, it was like one of my favorite movies as a kid. It was like that, Ghostbusters, and God, we didn't even have VHS of Back to the Future. I just watched that on TV when it was on TV.
Well, and speaking of Ghostbusters, that tape actually came out in 1985 as well.
And so I still have that. I actually just moved it out of my office. It's in a lot of VHSs, but yeah. So we had Ghostbusters, Wizard of Oz, and maybe we had like some episodes of Gumby. Like, and I had a Fleischer Superman VHS. Like that was it.
Yeah.
So but what we did then, it was for a lot of people, go into the rental store to rent movies, right? And so I don't remember the exact years, either 87 or 89. I remember watching it and where we watched it, and so that puts it at 87 or 88.
Yeah.
When it happened. So it was either 2 or 3 years old. But my parents were like, Jay, we know you love Wizard of Oz. We're at the rental store. And they say, hey, this is the sequel to Wizard of Oz.
Unbelievable.
So you probably like this. And so I still remember them putting in the tape. And I still remember very quickly being like, this is nothing like.
Seems like some version of child abuse.
Right? And they didn't know. There's like, hey, it's another Wizard of Oz movie. Jay, you'll love this.
So what's the manslaughter equivalent of child abuse?
Yeah.
Should have called Child Protective Services or something.
Yeah. It's called returning to Oz.
That's the verb.
Yeah.
I got returned to Oz. But I just the thing that was seared in my memory then, and I only watched it that one time, and it was upsetting, was I just being really upset that the Tin Man and the Cowardly Lion were frozen.
Yeah. Those were our friends.
Exactly.
Those were our characters. Yeah.
Absolutely. And just being really depressed. Like as a little kid, I was just like, I want, if Twitter was around, I'd be like, oh, I want the characters, the original characters. I want these new characters or whatever.
Exactly.
Or the fact that it's 50 years later and somehow Dorothy's younger.
Yeah, exactly. Like that. I mean, that didn't bother me as much. It was just more like, I want my core crew. Like, what's this? And that was it. I did not watch it again for almost 40 years until my wife, she wanted to watch it because she grew up with it.
Yeah.
She loved it.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, that movie? Like it messed me up. Like there's things seared in my brain from watching that over 35 years later. And so she wanted to watch it, and I was like, you know what? I'm almost 40. It's time to like.
I think I'm brave enough
to face. Yeah, exactly. I'm brave enough.
He's facing his fears.
I'm facing my fears. We're gonna do this. And watching it, I absolutely loved it. I was like, this is so different. But it still is so like captivating and has so many original ideas and so fantastical. And yes, it's darker. But from what I understand in researching, like the books are actually darker. It was the MGM movie that made it a little more, fun and fancy free or whatever. But no, I just the designs, the special effects, like everything about it, I think is just phenomenal. So I just rewatched it tonight with my boys who had not seen it before.
Oh wow.
So maybe that's a form of child abuse. I don't know. But they loved it. They're like, oh, that wasn't that scary. So it was probably because I was like 2 or 3 years old when I watched it. But no, I absolutely love this film.
And how old are your boys, Jay?
So my oldest is 11, and then Alex is almost 8.
Yeah. And I feel like just based on you as a father, they probably appreciate like a special effects type film.
Yes.
Right.
Absolutely. They do. And they're so astute. Like, oh yeah, that's a green screen shot right there. Like, that's a green screen shot. It's like, well, how do they do? Is that a puppet? Is the chicken a puppet? I was like, well, what do you think? It's like, well, sometimes it looks real. Sometimes I was like, yeah, because I think sometimes when she's talking, it's the animatronic, and then whatever. And so they're very like astute to it, and they find like practical effects like very novel for them. So yeah.
Well, and I think for me, like even revisiting it for this podcast, after seeing it, for the first time a couple of years ago, I think that's what really stood out with me is I was so blown away with the level of visual and special effects and puppets. Right.
Yeah. This was a very big movie. This was a
Absolutely.
huge, expensive movie.
I mean, it's a Disney film, right? Like it's.
I know, but it's not one I'd ever heard of, so I was still very surprised.
So you hadn't watched Jay
Yeah.
Ryan, you had not watched it at all. You'd never seen it before. Watching
I
it
had
for the
never even heard of it, Jay.
Wow, you never
Wow.
heard of it?
Yep.
It's
I
kind
don't
of
know how
famous.
it escaped me. I mean, I'm born in 77s, and I know
Okay.
all these other movies from 85.
It's kind of funny because it is a famous like childhood trauma film.
Yeah.
I had my own childhood traumas going on at the time. I think I was probably fully loaded.
It is true.
I was maxed out.
when I posted about us doing the movie, my aunt messaged me right away being like, traumatizing childhood movie. And
every comment on Instagram from after you posted it there was like, this nightmares of my childhood.
Yes.
This movie traumatized me for life.
Yeah.
Nothing but.
Well, okay, I'm curious then. So you watched it as a full grown ass man.
Straight up.
Did anything from that perspective and trying to put yourself back in your childhood shoes, did anything stand out like, oh, I could see how that could really mess up a kid?
Oh, all of it.
Okay.
Oh, the movie's existence fucked up kids. There's no doubt about it. It fucked me up today. First of all, I have no idea how this movie got made. I cannot figure out how Disney got the rights to this MGM. Well, even they didn't have. I guess you just buy it from the author. But either way,
well, I'll tell you all about that.
The fact that they got the ruby
tonally, this
slippers
is such a different film that I couldn't believe that they were connected in the same universe.
Yeah. Well, that's a perfect transition. Like we can get into some production stuff because, so Return to Oz was never intended to be a sequel to the 1939 Wizard of Oz, other than the fact that it is based off of two books.
Yep.
Ozma of Oz and Marvelous Land of Oz, which is this one is 1904. Okay, well, I should start. The Wonderful Wizard of Oz is 1900. That's when the book was published. Huge phenomenon. L. Frank Baum, sold thousands and thousands of copies in the early 1900s. Huge success. Started this like musical review show. Was fully developing all of these, little shorts and things to go in front of movies at movie theaters. He was doing all with his Oz characters, and then subsequently wrote, I think, 14 different Oz books before he passed away. And then somebody took on and started, writing more and more after that. But like I said, other than
two books are sequels to. Like those are the two after the first one.
Yes. So this is book 2 and this is book 3.
Yeah.
And so book 2 has, I pulled some photos here, has some imagery in it. Make myself big here 1 second. It's too blown out.
Oh yeah. Wow.
So there's Jack Pumpkinhead and they're on the Gump. Right. And it kind of is a different story. It actually follows a different character. It follows a little.
It's not Dorothy, right? Somebody else.
It follows a little boy in Marvelous Land of Oz, going into Oz.
Whereas Dorothy's back in Ozma of Oz, right?
Yes, Ozma of Oz. Dorothy's back. And then you can see here, like this is Ozma of Oz is really a big. I don't know. Might get blown out a little bit, but you can sort of see Beware the Wheelers there. This is where a lot of the Return to Oz imagery comes from. There's TikTok, Dorothy and TikTok is all in this Ozma of Oz.
And what's the chicken's name? Glinda or Gelda?
Belinda.
She's in there too.
There's Princess Mombi looking at her heads.
I think that is still the freakiest part of that. The Dorothy Gale.
And like a headless woman running around, cabinets of all these heads. Yes, for sure.
This whole thing was just a freaking fun house.
So the interesting thing is that Walt Disney had purchased the rights for 12 Oz books in the 50s.
Yep.
But at the time of development, 1980, when Walter Murch was developing the idea of a Return to Oz movie, the Wonderful Wizard of Oz, Marvelous Land of Oz, and Ozma of Oz were actually public domain.
Mm-hmm.
So he was able to write the script based off of Ozma and Marvelous because they were public domain. But I think I couldn't confirm it, but I imagine what Disney owned was the next books after that. So that the three that are public domain, you know, anybody can do anything with. But then if this was a huge success, it would mean that Disney controls the rights to make more Oz books.
But we need to get through these so we can get to the stuff we'll make that's exclusively ours.
Exactly. Yeah. So Walt Disney himself had developed or wanted to develop a Wizard of Oz movie or an Oz movie, and they had developed some songs, and they were going to do it as like part of the Disneyland TV show, but they never liked anything enough. They had developed a script for a theatrical presentation, a live action film of sorts that they were going to do, but they never really liked anything, and so they kind of just abandoned this. The closest they came was 1957. They had a title, Rainbow Road of Oz, with a script, some script, but it never went past that. So flash forward to 1980 and 1981, Walter Murch, who is subsequently the co-writer and director of Return to Oz, he comes with a pitch to Walt Disney Pictures to do an Oz movie.
Yep.
And as things would have it, the rights are about to expire on these Oz books, and so they're like, "Great, we'll make this movie because that allows us to, you know, keep holding on to the rights.
We'll save money in the long term."
Exactly. So he starts developing the Return to Oz script. Now, Walter Murch is, I think, a very fascinating,
about him.
Yeah, very interesting man, because Return to Oz is his only directed film. It's the only film he ever directed. The only other thing he directed was one episode of Clone Wars, the animated Star Wars show. I did write it down if anybody's interested. Season 4, episode 8.
Seems like a slight gap in his work history.
Season 4, episode 8, The General. That's a Walter Murch.
But he's done so many. He's worked on so many incredible movies.
So Walter Murch is actually a sound editor and film editor, first and foremost, I would say. And he worked with George Lucas, Francis Ford Coppola, and primarily he co-wrote THX 1138 with George Lucas. He was the sound editor on American Graffiti. He worked with Francis Ford Coppola on The Conversation, on all 3 Godfather movies, Apocalypse Now. In fact, he is the first person credited as sound designer, and that's in Apocalypse Now. He won an Academy Award for sound for Apocalypse Now. As a film editor, he edited Apocalypse Now. He edited Captain EO at Disneyland, the Michael Jackson, Francis Ford Coppola directed film. Wow. He edited Ghost, Godfather 3, and Jay Ryan. He is the editor or co-editor of Tomorrowland, a movie that you and I love.
That's one of my favorite movies of all time.
I still haven't seen that one.
Jay.
I know. I like Brad Bird. I need to go watch it.
No, it's just so good. It's so high concept. I think you'll love it.
Totally.
Okay. Yeah, I know. I gotta.
I almost would suggest to watch it twice. I really think the first time you're like, meh. But then, like, if you, it really
got under my skin, man. I turned it back on and watched it again.
In the exact same way, and it has become one of my favorite Disney films for sure.
It's one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, totally underappreciated, I think.
And I think that's one of the reasons I like it. It's like the opposite of Titanic, where there's so much fucking, fanfare and buzz. Yeah. This is the opposite.
It's the only Brad Bird I haven't seen. I think, it's the only Brad Bird I haven't seen. So
have you ever seen Batteries Not Included?
But he didn't direct it though, right?
No, but I'm trying to make a point with Brandon.
Oh, okay.
I haven't seen Batteries. I haven't seen it.
I've seen it. I haven't seen it since I was a kid though. But
okay, shit. All right, well, Brandon, you gotta watch it, buddy. It's so good.
That's the one with the little,
yeah,
not robots. I mean, little UFOs or whatever.
Little aliens, yeah.
Yeah. It's been a minute. It's been probably 30-something years since I saw that movie.
But okay, but Batteries Not Included is the one that we've talked about it several times on the show already, but I always confuse it with Cocoon, right?
They're both old people. Both
That's
have
what it is. Yes.
Jessica Tandy's in both, and they came out the same year.
Yes. Ironically, spoiler alert: Cocoon crushed Return to Oz at the box office. They both came out. They both came out the same day. So,
well,
I mean, one is excellent and one is weird as fuck.
Well, it's wild to me. Like I'm sure you have this context to add, Brandon, but nothing about this movie would tell me it would be successful. Like nothing. Not a single choice in it. Exactly. Like I appreciate the hell out of it, especially with the slop we have to see and that gets made today. But yeah, I don't know who this was for.
That's what I kept saying.
You know what? I think the only thing is like relying on the legacy of Oz.
Absolutely.
That was probably the only thing. It's like, do whatever. Yeah, make it more accurate to the book, make it darker and weirder. It's an Oz
keep
movie.
The franchise alive.
Yeah, everyone's gonna love it. Everyone's gonna see it. We're printing money. It's easy.
But it is. But then I would have to think if they were looking at the daily, I guess you didn't have really dailies back then, right?
There would have.
Yeah, you did. You print the film, and then you would usually go. You would watch it before you'd go and shoot.
Yeah.
I just to finish up Walter Murch before we get into that real quick.
Yeah.
I did pull this quote that I really, really liked from somebody we talk a lot about on the show, Mr. Roger Ebert. He has a quote about Walter Murch, and it's ironically again where Walter Murch is talking about how 3D movies are bad, but in this article, Roger Ebert, this is the quote about Walter Murch: the most respected film editor and sound designer in modern cinema. So this man had so much credibility when it came to the filmmaking process. In the Remembering Return to Oz documentary, multiple people refer to him as a genius, as just a man who was like cool-headed, nice, respectable, but also just thought about things in a different way that allowed him to revolutionize the film industry from a technical standpoint.
Yeah.
Him and Coppola are the reason we have 5.1 Dolby surround sound in our homes. They started that whole movement through Apocalypse Now. So,
well, the sound design and the editing are not the weak points of this film. That's for sure. Well, I actually thought the sound was excellent. I thought the score, the music were excellent. Like everything is very high quality. Every single piece of the filmmaking is high quality.
Well, I guess to that point. So, do you think this is a bad movie?
I do. I think it's an awful movie. Maybe I need to see it again.
I think so, because again, I don't think it's a kids movie. I don't think it probably meets what it needs to, or what it should intend to do. But
well, for me, it's supposed to be.
I think it's a good movie.
It's got to be a ride, right? Like this, it's a ride, and I didn't necessarily enjoy the ride as all.
Yeah,
but I'm not the target market for it. I'm first of all, we're watching it 40 years later.
That's what I feel like as an adult, it's more appreciate. I appreciate it more than I would as a kid. It's not a fun.
I agree. A lot of the tones in it, I wouldn't have gotten as a kid. I only did as an adult. Yeah, of course.
I had explained electroshock therapy to my boys. I was like,
dude, dark as fuck. I'm watching it at my aunt's house because I'm on this USA Grand Tour.
Yeah.
She came in halfway through, and I'm trying to explain the backstory for how we got to where we are in this scene. I'm like, oh, and by the way, we started with Dorothy getting electroshock therapy.
Yeah. No, I mean,
my aunt goes, don't feel the need to explain it any further.
I can see both points. I'm more in the Geek Dad Jay camp because I really do love this movie, but I know that my love for this movie is fully invested in the special effects, right?
Mhm.
Like in a way, I almost can't separate because I'm so impressed by the puppetry, the claymation.
Mhm.
Yep.
I mean, primarily those and the people involved, which I can't wait to sort of talk about. They're absolute legends in
Mhm.
the effects industry, right?
Mhm.
But I can also see, especially like for coming out in 1985, why it was such a disappointment. Because
Yeah.
if I do think about like the story is incredibly simple,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Like, you know, ultimately, like she's in Oz, she goes to
Mhm.
Princess Mombi, she knows she has to go to the Gnome Mountain. She
Mhm.
does the Gnome Mountain challenge. She saves Oz, right? Like
Yeah.
it's very simple, and and that's probably that was their intention for kids is to make that story simple to
It's
follow
very
along.
linear.
It's kind of the formula for the first one, right?
It really is
I
very
guess so.
similar.
You're
Yeah,
The one thing I
it
think
felt
was
beat
kind
for
of
beat to me.
the one thing I found kind of funny though was how short the Yellow Brick Road was to Emerald City, because like that was pretty much the whole plot, or it took the whole movie to get, or not the whole, but most of the movie to get to
yeah,
Emerald City. And in this one, she was like walking for like 2 minutes, like there's the Emerald City.
yeah.
I was like,
Hey, that's my house. Hey, it's the Yellow Brick Road. Hey, it's the Emerald City.
yeah,
Yeah,
I was like, all right, we're making some time space leaps here.
yeah.
But
Um,
but besides, so that was the one thing I'm like, I don't dig that. But whatever, maybe just cut the time. Maybe they were walking forever.
yeah,
And then the other one was just, I kind of was just like, no, Dorothy, what are you gonna go back to Kansas for? Kansas stinks. They tried electroshock therapy. You just
yeah.
be
No,
the
that
Queen
was
of
it.
Oz.
It felt like Back to the Future. The Kansas she goes back to is so much different than the Kansas she left in the first place. They're all nice again.
Don't worry, the lightning storm burnt them all alive.
Yeah, and
Seriously.
Dr. Worley's dead.
Yeah, he went back
Why?
in for
Was
his
he a terrible
machines.
person? Why was he a terrible person? Like,
Well,
yeah, he just wanted his machines back. I'm like, nah, he was terrible. He should have died a horrible death.
here's the thing. Did Dorothy ever leave Kansas? Right? Because the other side of even the Wizard of Oz, and specifically this film, is that you can interpret this as all in her head.
Oh, I thought
Because
that was the point.
well,
See,
yes, but that's what I'm saying is that like you can think about it 100% as
mhm.
Dorothy is transported to Oz and she
But I
goes
thought
through
that
this
was the point
adventure.
of the first movie because that's
It's
why
the
the
point of
family members are all the characters.
it's the point of both movies because this movie gives you all the clues at the beginning of the movie.
Sure.
Of
The
who's going to
TikTok,
be
electric
who.
the
electroshock,
electric shock machine is
Yeah.
TikTok.
Yep.
Nurse
Mombi is
Wilson
the
is Princess Mombi.
yeah,
Yeah.
Dr. Worley is the Gnome King.
yeah.
Um, the nurse has a key hanging on her
Yeah.
dress. One of the things that I picked up on this is the room that Dorothy is staying in is room 31. The cabinet where Mombi's original head and the powder of life is
Oh, okay.
cabinet 31.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Good call.
The assistant at the clinic is the head wheeler.
Mhm.
Wow.
So all of that, just like the 1939 Wizard of Oz, all of the characters we meet in the prologue
Yeah.
before we go to Oz. So an argument can be made for both films that Dorothy never actually goes to Oz, and Oz is not a real place, and it fully is in her head, and she
I don't think
really
it's an
is.
argument. I think that's the point of the movie.
Oh, actually,
I, I
this is where I would. This is, I think, philosophical differences. So
Oh,
I would
okay.
love to know, because I think it's one of those things. It's up to interpretation what you
Okay.
believe.
I don't believe it. I'm just
But that's why. But it seems like I say Jay, not me, Jay. Thinks like
this
no.
is fun. You're coming on every episode, GDL.
This this was not this was not something that actually happened. It was just on her head. She hit her head in the first one because of the door flying off
Yes,
into her
yes.
head, and then in this one they zapped her brain with electro waves.
She
and
didn't actually get zapped
oh
No.
because,
okay,
because
so
the power
I think
goes out.
it's
It's the trauma of the river that knocked that
okay.
knocks her
exactly.
out.
Okay,
Instead
so
of a
you're saying
cyclone,
that's
it's a
where that
river.
happens. Okay,
Yeah.
but I guess my so for you, Jay, like you're saying didn't actually happen. It was all in her head. That's your belief.
Well, I'm basing that on my beliefs from the original film. So I was just kind of going along with it this time. It wasn't until we were celebrating in Oz that it felt like this was even connected to the first franchise.
Yeah.
Once we were having a little ball at the end. And then it just felt like almost exactly like the first movie. Like, oh, okay, now we go back to Kansas. Oh, okay, they find her. Oh, everyone's all happy. Dorothy's okay. And it was very, very similar and familiar. So I think I probably just went back into the same state of mind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Brandon,
like they lulled me into it, I think, on purpose.
Okay. Brandon, how about you? Do you think it really happened, or was it all in her head?
I like to think that it really happened because I think that's a more fun adventure and more fun movie.
Agreed.
But I also, for fun, like to think that it is all in her head because they give us these clues in both films of the characters and the connections to the Oz world.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's no reason to make a movie if it's not her actually transporting to another world, right? Like that's the magic of film.
I would say it's probably less than the first one. Like, oh, it was all a dream, but I still think it really did happen. But it's it is in Return to Oz where you still had Princess or Queen Ozma in the mirror.
Yeah, you're right. I forgot about that.
And that to me is like, okay,
nobody else sees her.
So like she's just crazy.
And
like
she helped her out of the psych ward.
That's why she's getting electroshock therapy.
Yeah.
That's why she's going to the clinic.
She's seeing
You know what? I'm on Aunt M's side now. You've switched me. I was on Dorothy's side. Now I'm on Henry and Aunt M's side.
Why? That was terrible. You're gonna leave your kid, your adoptive daughter, with some strangers.
It's just overnight.
Yeah.
No wonder why kids went missing before the 1980s or whatever.
Well, and honestly, maybe subconsciously, that's part of the trauma as a young kid watching this. Like, that would be so scary.
Yes.
To be dropped off with these strangers in a medical facility, which even most adults don't even really feel comfortable in a medical facility. So now your parental figure is leaving you there with your lunch pail.
Yeah. I'm going to switch my answer. I think this one did happen, and I think they did everything you're talking about to convince us that the first one happened, even though I thought it didn't. Because you're right, they don't believe Dorothy in the beginning. It should be called Dorothy the Liar. Nobody believes Dorothy.
Yeah,
the liar of Oz.
And then you're right. There's actually things happen, even though the journey's the same. The ghost who helps her, whatever, the girl, she shows up in the beginning and the end. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give you that. Brandon and I both switched.
I just thought there was another connection that I noticed on this rewatch. The squeaking wheel sound is the same on the gurney as it is the Wheelers. They use the same squeaking sound effect. Yeah.
When they're gonna go take her for a ride.
Yes. I'd like to sit up, please. Yeah.
What did your mother tell you? To do whatever you said. Also, I thought Farouza Balk was fantastic. She was one of the strongest parts of this movie.
So she was actually living in Vancouver, British Columbia, roughly where I am from, in Rhindole.
Shout out to Brandon's hometown.
And she got the gig through a cattle call audition.
Oh wow!
Like I think they I can't remember but it was like like they saw like 1,200 kids all over North America, and she got the gig.
Makes sense why she has this earnestness about her, even like as an adult actor. Like
agreed, she's very authentic. Totally agree. She's not putting it on for anybody.
Yeah,
wonderful in this movie. Like, we watched Explorers for the show. Have you seen Explorers, GDL?
Wait, is that the one where they make a spaceship out of old
out
the world?
Young Ethan Hawke.
Again, I haven't seen it since I was a kid, but I have seen it. They end up going to aliens, right? Like a family of aliens.
Yeah.
Oh,
but
by the way,
acting
Brandon
is so good. Yeah. What's that?
One of my notes on here. Hang on, I have to find it. Brandon, You know how you felt about the last act of Explorers? That's this whole movie for me. That's one of my notes.
Well, to fill you in, GDL, the movie is I mean it's worth a rewatch.
Mhm.
It is amazing up until a certain point, and then the rug gets pulled out underneath, and it feels like you're like, what movie am I
It's a
in?
different film.
Yeah, when they get to the aliens, it's a completely different film.
That tracks. From my memory, I think the thing that I loved about that movie was just the idea of building a spaceship or whatever.
Yeah, with your friends, totally.
And then because then they the windows on old TV thing,
Yes.
right? Wasn't
Yep.
that?
Yeah.
And then
Washing machine doors and an old
Yes.
television
Yeah.
screen.
Yes, and I just remember like just that just sparked something in my imagination as a
Yeah.
kid, and I definitely try to do something similar, like not to that grandiose of a scale, but just that idea of like you just get these parts out of the trash
Yeah.
and to make something.
Yeah, there were road signs and a garbage can.
Like that. I love that so much.
But the kids are so good in that movie. Young Ethan
Mhm.
Hawke,
Yes.
his first movie, young River Phoenix, and then I can't remember the name of
The other guy.
Yeah, he's great too. They're all three
Yeah.
of them are fantastic. But one of the things that always sort of takes me out of a movie is a bad kid actor. I
Absolutely.
really don't seek out movies with like a primary kid actor
Mhm.
because I think I'll say 70% of the time they're bad.
What would you say is like a shining example? Maybe not shining, unshining example of that. Like where
Good question.
great movie, I could have been a great movie, but the kid actor was so bad it just takes you out of it.
That's a really good question. Nothing is coming to me right away in that regard because I feel like maybe
I got
remove-
one. It's
Okay,
a little
go.
she's a little older, and it's probably not fair because she turned out to be a phenomenal director. But Sofia Coppola in Godfather 3.
Yeah, that's a good point, and that is kind of like a nepo hire.
Yeah.
Really, that's like
You think?
like
Kind of.
Terrible nepo hire. But again, she turned out to be an amazing director. So
exactly.
But it ruins that movie. Like I think it's a
Totally.
good movie. Like it's like everything, all the beats feel fine. But she takes me out of it, which is a shame. But
Yeah.
How do you feel about Problem Child? What about that? That kid always kind of rubbed me the wrong way.
It's annoying though. That's his point, right? It's supposed to be.
I grew up on
you're
that
right.
movie though, so that one is different because I watched that when I was the same age as that kid, and so I wanted to be the problem child. I thought he was so funny.
That was a big rental. Those were big rentals. How many of
big
them
rentals?
Two. There may be a third. I've only seen two.
Yeah, I know
The two
there's
is
at least a couple.
the little girl.
I just remember like that movie inspired me to eat a prune. I was just like, it wasn't like a prune that was like a bulletproof prune. Again, I haven't seen that movie since I was a little kid, but I remember there was a prune that stopped a bullet for John Ritter or something.
Yes. And Michael Richards is the bad guy.
Yes.
And he sticks out to me. There is a shot where he's like walking and he's like I think he's like taking people's things like a bag of popcorn or something, but this music they play and it's like this it's so iconic to me, the Michael Richards bad guy in that movie. But I that one is different for me. I have lots of nostalgia. One of the tapes that my grandma had, and so I watched Problem Child a lot when I went to her house.
Nice. I love that. I'm trying, like there's a movie that I like, and I actually don't think he was bad. I think Frank Oz, I think like if somebody with more skill or maybe more patience could have gotten a better performance out of them, was the kid in Indian in the Cupboard, the Omri character.
Omri, yeah. Again, you're hitting me right on the movies that like I was the same age as these kids when I was watching them. So
yeah.
But that is another one that I liked that movie, but part of it was I was obsessed with the one shot where he puts Darth Vader and the T-Rex,
RoboCop.
Yes, all in the case, and they all come alive and they're like fighting each other. That was I watched that movie just to see that shot.
It was in the trailer, and I went I was a latchkey kid, and my mom let me go to malls and just run around, start like 10 years old or whatever, even before, and I give me money and I go to the movies. And I'd go to the movies all day or whatever. And I remember that was the ones I saw, but I remember seeing that in the trailer. I was like, this is a movie for me.
Yeah,
it has toys that come to life.
Exactly.
And I'd read the books too. Those are big books for us in that time. But,
one of my holy grail VHS tapes is the sealed in plastic Indian in the cupboard.
You mean like this?
So yes, with the toy and the key. Yes. I've yet to find one.
You don't have one of these yet?
I refuse to buy it online. I want to find one.
Oh, good luck. I bought this on eBay for $10.
Yeah, I know.
There's a video idea I have for this that I want to do at some point in time. But I bought this originally when it came out. I still have my Indian and key somewhere around here. But
do you have another copy of that? Like unopened, or sorry, opened, I mean?
All I have from my original childhood copy is the what's his, not, is it Little Bear?
I don't even remember. Seriously, I was obsessed with the one shot of the movie.
Yeah.
But the coolest thing about that is obviously on the side of the case is the keyhole.
Yeah.
Like the other side. Yeah, there's the keyhole. But also the cover flips around. You can take the paper out and flip it around, and it's got the printed cupboard on it. It's so cool. So I have that tape. I've been looking to one day find the sealed one that you have there.
They're around, like they must have made a ton of these because you can find them online for pretty cheap.
Yeah.
But yeah, I again I flip because here's the cover inside out, and it's the cupboard.
Yes, exactly.
And
where'd
so
you get that?
you can recreate it at home. I got it at
Target.
As a kid at Target in El Paso, California. But
Target UPC.
This one's Target too. Yeah, look at that. I know I got mine as a kid at Target. This is not my childhood one, but that's the. But again, I think, but two problems with this film, I think, is the kid. Like, I don't think Frank Oz, he's kind of a cantankerous individual, and I don't know if he necessarily had the patience for the kid actors that maybe like a
Frank Oz from the Muppets, who worked on Sesame Street, didn't have the patience for the kids.
Yeah,
he's a cranky man.
Well, that was part. Yes.
Oh, okay. So sorry. But that, and then the score is kind of over the top. The score is not a great score.
Never seen that one.
All of that being said, Fairuza Balk is incredible in this movie.
Incredible. Actually, I mean, really, there's not bad acting in this. Like the over the top acting is for like the characters that are supposed to be over the top.
And they're all in costumes or something when it happens too.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, I guess you could say Princess Mombi when she's yelling is over the top, but I feel like that's the character.
It's effective.
The Gnome King is like being a little extra, but
I love when he brings up the little slippers. I don't know if that's his feat, but whatever that acting is for the slipper acting, I was just like,
when those Oscar on that. Those ruby slippers,
when he tucks them back in, is adorable.
Yeah, it's probably the best shot in the movie is when he pokes his little ruby slippers out, looking for these,
and he just like kind of dances with his toes.
Yeah. Well, actually, speaking of that, so in the original Wonderful Wizard of Oz book, the slippers are actually silver slippers, but the MGM. What's that?
Well, like famously so, because MGM. You're going to tell the story.
No. I mean, if you have the information, you can tell it too.
Well, I just like it. This is a color film, that we're trying to. This is it's not the first color film. That's often mistaken that it's the first color film, but
they were making such an impression with the different, the dichotomy of the black and white and the color.
Yeah, it was specifically Technicolor, right?
Yeah,
right.
Technicolor,
big presentations.
And so it's like silver doesn't like pop as much, so we'll make them ruby slippers. But because of that, since it was an MGM idea, they own the rights to the ruby slippers. Exactly. So the fact this is probably the only time that will happen, because the Wicked couldn't do it, the crappy James Franco movie couldn't do it, that a non-MGM film has the ruby slippers, because they paid MGM for the right to do that.
Exactly.
Right?
I couldn't find any information on how much they paid, but yeah, the Walt Disney and the Return to Oz paid MGM for use of the red ruby slippers for this film, and that's kind of the big connection to that original 1939 version of Oz, whereas everything else is inspired directly from the illustrations and the writings descriptions from the Baum original books.
They're straight out of like all of that's another thing, just the designs. Like it's like 2D come to life, like every character.
Exactly. That's
incredible.
exactly what they were trying to do. What was I gonna say? I don't remember now. Yeah, but so you brought up Wicked. Actually, it's funny that we're doing the show this week because the new Wicked movie is coming out this week. But
I thought you planned that, Brandon.
No, it was just happenstance.
You're so
it
good,
was
man.
random because you were like, because you threw out a couple of like horror movies, and I'm kind of a scaredy cat. I'm like,
yeah.
But it did kind of, I was like, well, what about? I was like looking through the list. I was like, if you didn't Return the Oz, like, can we do that one?
Yeah. No, it's just the Wizard of Oz is in the air right now. But yeah, you're right, because those other films that you mentioned, The Great and Powerful Oz, the Sam Raimi film, and Wicked, they don't have the red ruby slippers.
Yeah.
Because MGM.
Hey, Ryan, what are you eating over there? Are you eating ice or like?
Sorry. No, sorry about that. I was eating Sprees. It's a terrible habit.
Are you chewing on ice? Is that what's happening?
I'm eating Sprees. It's a terrible habit.
Oh, okay. All right. I was just like,
I'm on the East Coast, so it's like 10 o'clock here.
Yeah, I am too. But I was just like, what are you gnawing on over there? But okay, good to know.
No, it's a very rude habit, and I'll stop now that it's been brought out. Thank you.
So I had mentioned that Fairuza Balk is in the film The Craft.
Yep.
Wonderful movie.
Waterboy
on her. I had the
and Waterboy is the other one I was going to bring up. She's the romantic lead in Waterboy.
I had the biggest crush on her.
In The Craft or Waterboy?
I didn't watch The Craft, but
he's like, no, Return to Oz.
yeah.
No, I was 2 or whatever, but no. But yeah, it was Waterboy. I was like, oh man, she's my kind of gal.
She has such a 90s look.
Oh, absolutely.
Just her facial structure, and then with the dark hair, it's like, it's no wonder that she was in 2 huge movies in the 90s.
You kind of can't believe she wasn't in Empire Records.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, but she's in
Almost
Almost
looks
Famous.
like she should have been.
Yeah, Almost Famous is the other one.
Oh, I forgot about Almost Famous. That's huge.
Dr.
American
Worley
History X 2 is the one I was thinking of.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Dr. Worley is played by Nicole Williamson. He's in Excalibur. He plays Merlin in Excalibur, from the 70s. When is Excalibur? Like, late 70s, I think. He's in a film that kind of freaked me out when I was younger. I have yet to revisit it, but it's the live action Wind of the Willows. Have you ever seen that?
No.
Oh, sorry, Wind in the Willows. It's Terry Jones from Monty Python.
Okay.
And Eric Idle's in it. John Cleese is in it. And it's the story of like Mr. Toad, Wind in the Willows, but it's live actors with partial makeup. It's a weird movie.
I'm clicking on it now. Oh, I've seen this VHS cover a million times.
So I saw it when I was younger. Weirded me out before I knew who Monty Python was.
Yes.
And in
the States it was advertised as Mr. Toad's Wild Ride.
Oh, really?
Yes. So that was just like, it sounds like that, but yeah. So everywhere else I think it was Wind in the Willows, but here in the States it was Mr. Toad's Wild Ride.
Interesting.
And that's my favorite Disneyland ride. So I was like, I never watched it though. I never watched it.
Mr. Toad's is my favorite.
That is a fucked up fucking ride, man.
It is
dying and going to hell and everything. Holy shit.
A ride that only exists built in the 50s, right? Like,
yes. Yeah.
Nicole, my late wife Nicole and I used to love that ride, and it would be the first ride we'd ride when we get to Disneyland.
We rope drop it every time. Like that's like not we get there early every time, but every time we go, like it's like all right, Mr. Toads, and then we'll go to something else.
Yep.
But sorry, I rudely interrupted your story about the wind in the willows and how it traumatized you as a child.
No, I have a vivid memory of not even really traumatized me. I was just like, this is weird. I don't know how I feel about this. But knowing who's involved with it now, and I again like Return of the Oz, I revisit it and I probably will love it. But it might be terrible. Who knows? Looking forward to.
It's wild. Has a 75% Rotten Tomatoes rating, but only based on 8 reviews.
That is strange.
It's wild. Like
the one only 6 were good.
Yeah, exactly.
It's at 78 now, so it's gotten more since whoever put it in Wikipedia. So there's only 10 reviews in Rotten Tomatoes. Like somebody could really screw up their
rating.
Anyway, sorry.
Jean Marsh, she's the actress that plays Nurse Wilson and Princess Mombi. She in the year after, obviously because we're not covering it, but she's the queen from Willow. The same actress.
Willow.
Yeah. Because she's the one who turns Val Kilmer into a pig. I believe that's her character.
Val Kilmer was in this?
No.
Willow.
Willow.
Ah, thank you.
I was saying the wind
in Willow. Yeah, no, Willow.
It's like, did he play the clock?
No, yeah, Val Kilmer was TikTok.
Oh, it makes so much sense.
Now I get it.
He really got into that role.
Before we get into some of those fun characters, I just want to shout out Piper Laurie plays Aunt M.
Yep.
I'm a huge Twin Peaks fan, so that's Catherine Martell from Twin Peaks, and Carrie.
There you go.
Yeah, and Carrie. She's Sissy Spacek's mom in Carrie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that's probably where I recognize her from.
But isn't the uncle is Matt from the bartender from Back to the Future 3?
Matt Clark, who plays Uncle Henry, is the Back to the Future 3 bartender. Yes,
and so many westerns and everything back in the day.
Yeah,
he's been in a bunch of stuff.
Yeah,
his last movie was A Million Ways to Die in the West. He played an old prospector.
So let's talk about some of these characters, because for me, this is what kind of sticks out to me. This is what really I think I love about this movie, and primarily it's someone like TikTok.
Yeah,
TikTok is the character from this movie that when I think of Return to Oz, kind of that's what I think of.
For me, it's all of them. I think all of the character designs are really compelling, but to your point, Brandon, like the one lasting memory out of all of them was TikTok from when I was 2 or 3 years old.
When TikTok arrived, it felt to me like the Harry Hamlin movie with the alarm clock.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You do, but I always get the name wrong. Is it Battle of the Titans?
Battle of the Titans.
Clash of the Titans.
Oh, Clash of the Titans. Like the Harryhausen?
Harry Hamlin.
Well, Harry Hamlin did in Clash of the Titans.
Yeah, and there's that that alarm clock.
Owl?
Yeah,
the owl.
And that
the little owl.
TikTok felt very much the same to me, like as the owl.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know what's funny? Clash of the Titans to me is a Ray Harryhausen movie. That's how I categorize it.
It's his last. Isn't it his last big one?
I don't know where it falls. I don't know where it falls in his career, but I see the correlation: the metal, the prop, the build.
Well, and all of the stop motion photography. It just there was a lot of cinema, the movie making. There's a lot of stuff going on that felt familiar.
Well, do either of you? Were you going to say something, GDL?
Well, I just love the character, love the design, love how he's applied. But there's a cute moment.
His little mustache is cute.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
There's a moment with my kids. They also love TikTok, but my youngest was like, "So is this like where the TikTok app comes from? Was it him?"
You know what's funny is it's spelt exactly the same.
It is. It was because I watch shows with subtitles because I can't hear for shit, and I get ADHD to help me focus. So they probably saw the writing or whatever, but they're just like, "Is that where like the app TikTok is from?" I was like,
it's TIK-TOC. Like it's the exact same thing.
Wow.
I was going to ask, do either of you know how TikTok was puppeteered?
Can I guess?
It kind of looks stop motion to me.
Okay.
It doesn't look stop motion to me at all.
No.
What's your guess, GDL?
I'm gonna guess it is a marionette, complicated marionette.
Ooh, whoa.
Okay. Well, you want to have your minds blown? You're both wrong. It is a man.
Holy shit.
Oh, wow.
So this is Michael Sundin.
Uh-huh.
That guy
he is an
life
actor.
sucks.
He is a dancer. He's a gymnast. He is crouched over inside of TikTok.
Looking at this.
And for TikTok to walk, he walks backwards. So his butt is actually on the face side of TikTok.
Wow.
I have another photo here. So there he is, strapped into the bottom of TikTok.
Wow.
And then they would put the top half over top of him, and then his head is radio controlled puppeteering.
Okay.
Amazing.
Hands.
He would have a monitor upside down between his legs so that when his head is down, he can see what the camera feed is to know where he's walking. Then he would reach his arms across and have two like handles that he would pull to raise
arms.
TikTok's arms, and he could rotate them. But it's also opposite. So Michael Sundin is walking backwards, upside down, and doing opposite arm actions every time you see TikTok walking around.
I'm sorry. This man should have won an Oscar. I don't know what it would have been, but my back it hurts just looking at this. Like how
he's got it so much worse than George McFly 2 and 3.
Absolutely.
So
that's insane.
There is a really great Adam Savage tested video where the owner of Prop Store, Brandon Allinger, actually owns one of the screen used TikToks from Return to Oz. And they sort of open it up and they talk about it. And in that video, Adam says that he could last 15 minutes at a time. Well, in the Remembering Return to Oz documentary today, apparently it was actually only 2.5 minutes that he could last in there.
I give him credit for even doing that. I don't know if I could.
That's amazing.
Like
once you close that thing up, I'd be so claustrophobic.
Exactly. I wouldn't be able to breathe.
And you can't move. You can't stand up. I mean, your arms are crossed. You're in a straitjacket, bent over.
It's incredible. It's one of the things that I'm so impressed by.
Wow.
It's amazing that this was even an option. Like,
like how do you arrive at this conclusion?
Well, and I think a big part of it is the fact that they were being so
exacting, to the original designs. That's incredible.
Let's see if I can do this again.
I will say that what I thought was stop motion was the awkward walking. So this explains the awkward walking. He was going backwards.
Yeah, it looks
so they're trying to make a big ball man, and for the scale of it, they just realized that, okay, well, the only way to do it, is to have somebody crouched over, and they had to find this person who was able to do it, one, and willing to do it, two.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah.
The fact that they chose this and the fact that Fairuza Balk was a open cattle call makes me think that he was planning on spending all the money on the filmmaking and he didn't want to put money into the cast. There has to be a better way to do this. This looks awful. This poor person.
I mean, this is like pre-CGI. Like
practically there has to be a better practical way.
Yeah.
Well, and I think part of it is like you would think, much like R2-D2, or even in this movie, the Tin Man, they actually used a little person.
Yeah.
Right. Kenny Baker in R2-D2, and then Deep Roy, who everybody knows probably from the Tim Burton Wizard of Oz film. He plays all of the Oompa Loompas, Deep Roy.
Yeah.
He's the actor inside of the Tin Woodsman.
You mean
Willy Wonka?
Okay, got it.
Deep Roy's been in a million things.
Yeah, he's been in so many things, but he's the face of every single Willy Wonka in that.
He's still alive. That's awesome. He's only 67. 6'7".
But here's the thing. Oh my God.
You did not.
Yeah, we're going viral now. We got the young crowd.
Make sure you put that in the title description, Brandon.
I could not find a photo of it, but where the Tin Woodsman apparently, even with the body cavity where Deep Roy would stand to puppet the head and do the dialogue, apparently his legs still hung out of the bottom of the Tin Man. So you apparently can see it in the movie. I was really trying to
I
find
didn't
it, and
check that at all.
but if you catch,
I can't believe there was a person in it because the legs are so skinny.
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
that's
That's why I didn't check.
he's just in the chest part.
Yeah, that's
Gotcha.
what I assumed. He was in the cylinder chest
Okay.
part.
But his legs hang out the back, and they always have somebody kind of standing either in front of his legs in the crowd scenes or behind him. They're always trying to hide it. And then obviously when he's frozen, he doesn't,
Yeah.
Deep Roy doesn't need to be in there. But like
Wow.
this was their solution to things, is put people in costumes. And I think part of the thing with TikTok is that his legs are so wide
Yes.
that I don't think that they could, there was no way that they could get a little person to be inside.
It's so wide set. Yeah.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
they either need to make it fully marionette, would probably like an option, or go stop motion, but they weren't doing stop motion in the movie. They were doing claymation.
Yeah.
Which we'll talk about.
You're right.
That's why. But I like that it was a practical effect, because especially with a young child actor that was this her first movie then?
First movie, yep.
Introducing.
So like her having to act to nothing that would have been stop motion in later or something. I think it helps that situation and get a more real performance because it's a real person there.
It's a real person walking with her, radio controlled, emotions, looking around, somebody doing the dialogue on the day, and then it gets, re-recorded.
That's what you guys all see. I see Ace Ventura because I know this guy's bent over and she's talking to his butt.
Yeah, pretty hot in these TikToks. And then Jack Pumpkinhead is much more of a traditional puppet, and
it feels like there's moments where he's thicker because he has human parts in him, and then there's times where it's very clearly very puppet like. So
there was a half puppet, and actually it's puppeteered by Brian Henson, son of Jim Henson.
Wow.
Director of Muppet Christmas Carol, the greatest Muppet movie ever made. And
untrue, but okay.
Actually, I think that's the right. I mean, it's hard to say it's better than the original Muppet movie.
Can't be. I don't know how we could make it that.
I don't know, man.
But it's probably.
I'm also a Muppets Take Manhattan fan, like up the wazoo. So.
Oh yeah, frankly, I love them all. In preparation for this show, I tried to watch Muppets Wizard of Oz just for fun. I did get about halfway through and then went, okay, I'm just going to watch the Quentin Tarantino scene and then call it a night. So I did finish it. There was some good jokes, though. I will say there was some stuff in it that I did enjoy from the Muppets. But yeah, so Jack Pumpkinhead, primarily puppeteered by Brian Henson. It was kind of his first actual gig.
Is that Brian down there right up front?
Yes, right in the middle.
It is, yeah.
Brian Henson. He's 19 years old. He had been helping
Nepo
out.
Baby.
Yeah, a good one though.
He's one of the good ones.
As long as he doesn't do voices, I'm
careful, Brandon. It's a slippery slope.
So he had been helping out on many of the Jim Henson and Muppet productions when he wasn't in school. But now he's 19, he's graduated, he's starting his own career, and this is kind of his first gig. And it's, his dad is not, on set, right? His dad is doing other things. So he is the primary puppet for Jack Pumpkinhead.
He's the voice too, right?
He is the voice. So he was the on-set voice, and then Walter Murch was going to replace him and had auditioned a bunch of people and probably done some sessions, and then realized, you know what, Brian is the right voice. So then they brought Brian Henson in to re-record some of the dialogue for it.
He's
But
great.
he's fantastic.
Like there's kind of analogs, right? And so he's kind of the not the replacement Scarecrow, but similar kind of vibes. And then TikTok's similar to the Tin Man.
Exactly.
I guess is Belina the Cowardly Lion? I guess
I
know.
Belina is Toto.
I know it's supposed to be Toto. I guess Gump is Gump.
Yes,
then
Gump would be more the Cowardly Lion.
Yeah.
So there was the half puppet. There was a full puppet. They called like the trolley puppet that could roll around, and then there was a third one, which was a fully costumed character for when Jack Pumpkinhead had to walk around.
Yeah.
And if you're paying attention, you can see his arms get a little thicker. His neck gets a little thicker. Exactly.
But still, to me, it's such an incredible just feast for the eyes. Like it
I
is
agree.
So like I wish there was more Jack Pumpkinhead merch, because I'd love to have one like hanging out around, the Halloween fall time.
I think you need a full size one somewhere in your house.
Yeah, I'll just put him right
there. You're right there. Perfect spot.
He's also very Jack Skellington, so it was interesting to me because this predates Jack Skellington by 10 years probably.
But Tim Burton has said that this was an inspiration for the design of Jack Skellington.
Really?
Okay. There you go.
There you go. Yeah. You can see it. Henry Selick, right?
Henry Selick is the director of A Nightmare Before Christmas, the stop motion director.
Yeah.
But it's
I know it's Burton's thing, but he gets pissed if you give Burton all the credit. I'm just saying.
Exactly. So Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas is the official title of the movie, because Tim Burton actually wrote a story and a book before the movie was made, and that's what was turned. All of the designs are Tim Burton's illustrations, but yes, Henry Selick is the director of Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas.
Right.
Yeah. Very similar to the modern day, that new movie that came out, Him, was being touted as Jordan Peele's Him, and a lot of people assumed that Jordan Peele had directed this new movie.
Yep.
But it says from producer Jordan Peele. But one of the critiques I saw was that the words from producer was a very similar color to the background. And then the word Jordan Peele was kind of bolded a different color. So at glance, it was tricking people into thinking, oh, Jordan Peele's new movie is out.
From producer Jordan Peele.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Kevin Nealon used to do Mr. Subliminal Man on Saturday Night Live.
Yes.
Where do I have?
I love the no messenger, like Pons Mars, the no messenger, but just the claymation stone latchkeys of the Gnome King. Again, just such a cool design and like application. Again, like my kids were like, "Oh, that's really cool. How do they do that?" And it still is cool to this day. It's so neat.
Yeah, I have a whole claymation section planned, but I want to hit Belina before we get into.
Belina's amazing.
Yeah, so Belina is obviously a combination of some real chickens when Belina is running, when Dorothy is carrying Belina. There's real chickens, but they made this full puppeted, radio-controlled animatronic chicken, and I have to say, as a man who I used to own chickens, I don't have them anymore.
I love how you're phrasing that, as a man who's owned chickens.
I am so impressed by this puppet. Just the feathers alone, how they're laid, the way Belina's eyes move and blink. Jack Pumpkinhead is great, but I think that like this is so impressive. And as you can see in this photo here, how small of a puppet it has to be, because it needs to be a real size chicken working with a human, a human girl.
Yeah.
they apparently had an original idea to build a oversized puppet and then superimpose optically that
Okay.
that puppet smaller into the scenes because they couldn't figure out how to make a puppet this small, and then they just thought about it a little bit harder and they ended up making a puppet that small.
It looks so good, and again, like, my 7-year-old was obsessed with, like, puppets and stuff. She's like, "How do they do that?" And I was like, I really don't know, but it's impressive that it's that small. You can tell it's there. There's no,
Yeah.
like, trickery that it's a real puppet that's there, and it looks so good, and it works so well. I love that I didn't write so Henry Selick was a storyboard artist on Return to Oz.
Oh, wow. I didn't did you just find that? Were you just
Right,
doing
no,
some
it's,
Googling?
Oregonian Dave put it in the chat right over
Oh,
here.
really? Oh, look
Yeah.
at that. Thanks, Dave. I missed that. Henry
But it
Selick was
makes
a
sense
story.
because they're all like Cal Poly folks, right? Like, they're all hanging out together.
Exactly.
So it would
Yes.
make sense.
Yeah. So the man in this photo, I believe, is Lyle Conway. Lyle Conway was the creature, character, designer, and head of the puppet, division for Return
Mhm.
of Oz. He also is the voice of the Gump in the movie. He was
Oh,
one of
nice.
the he was
Hell
one
yeah.
of the radio controllers for the talking, mounted animal head. And then
Mhm.
again, similar to Brian Henson, they just sort of they kept his voice because it was so good.
Yeah.
Um,
That's awesome.
but
That's awesome.
he's very cool because he has been involved with the Jim Henson Company in creating some of the early Muppets. He's part of that team. He created Audrey 2 from one of my favorite movies of all
Whoa,
time, Little Shop
huge.
of Horrors.
Yep.
Right.
Wow.
So the same guy who made all the puppets for Return of Oz was also in charge of Audrey 2, the design
Mhm.
of Audrey 2. Um,
Assuming you mean for the Rick Moranis
Yes, yes,
endeavor. Yeah.
yes, exactly. The Little Shop of Horrors, the Frank Oz directed
Oh,
Little
good. Nice. Very nice.
Little Shop of Horrors musical. Rick Moranis, Audrey
There are no
Green,
kids
Steve
in there, so
Martin.
he did great.
Exactly. Just
That's hilarious.
a big temperamental robot plant.
Perfect for him. Perfect.
Voiced by
Uh,
Little Richard.
is it Little Richard? I don't think it's
Oh,
Little
maybe.
Richard.
Oh, maybe it's not. I can't
Um,
remember.
Levi Stubbs.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's yeah.
nice, nice,
Levi
nice.
Stubbs. I again, I just love all this information stuff, but that puppet for Little Shop of Horrors was so big that in order
Mhm.
for them to do all the lip syncing when it's singing with Rick Moranis, they
Mhm.
had to slow the songs way down, and so the puppet is like lip syncing to a slowed down version. Rick
Okay.
Moranis is performing a slowed down version, and then they speed up the
To speed
film,
up the film?
and that yes, and then that's why the lips and that huge Audrey 2 puppet moves so fast and fluid because
Yeah.
it's sped up film.
But how do you not did they, like, change the frame rate so it didn't look because I don't recall it looking sped up.
It's during a
Yeah,
musical number.
Yeah, I have to watch
It's
that
it's
again. I've
it's
never
during a
tracked that.
musical number, and I know what you're talking about, Brandon. I don't know that I knew that that's how they did it, but that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I think it's just like everything
It's
is
when he's
thought
singing those,
through.
he's singing and even the camera work. You know what? Now that you mention it, it's like when you watch
Yeah,
a car chase on Dukes of Hazzard, and they're all like,
but
Yeah.
it is incredible because there is a wide shot of Rick Moranis singing with Audrey 2 singing
yeah, they're
together,
face to
right?
face. They're face to
Exactly.
face. Exactly.
Yeah.
But
That's incredible.
maybe if you go and you're like looking for artifacts, maybe you'd see something. But
Yeah.
that's the only way they could get that giant final Audrey 2
Wow.
puppet is just because there was so much mechanics in it.
Absolutely.
The only way they could get it to move fluid was to slow it down like that.
Yeah.
Um, but let's talk about some claymation because
Was this a Vinton? Was this a Will
it is
Vinton?
a Will
Okay.
Vinton. Let me get a claymation shot here. Here we go. Here's the Gnome King.
The
I guess he
rocks
was, like,
kept
the
looking
only
like
one that did it back
kept
then.
looking like something from Pee Wee's Playhouse to me, like Flory or something.
Exactly. Yeah, so all of the rock faces, so when Dorothy first arrives and she's stepping over those rocks and those faces
Mhm.
appear,
Yep.
um the face that's communicating with the Gnome King that GDL had mentioned earlier, which is an incredible effect. The Gnome King in his first few phases, when the challenge is going on, the final version of the Gnome King is all done in claymation. And claymation obviously is, as what it sounds, it is animation with clay, a stop motion
it's still
technique.
stop motion, isn't it?
Yes, but it's a thing that this type of claymation, I can never wrap my head around it, because it's one thing when it's like Gumby, right? Gumby is a character, walks around primarily all the time. It's got, clay over top of an armature. But in this film, the clay is like shifting and moving. So are they
But it's all on one
legitimately
plane. It's all on one plane. It's not like on an articulated skeletal structure or something.
But they're having to rebuild the faces every 10 frames or whatever it is.
Yes.
That's the part that kind of blows me away.
Well, but that's the art. Is this where Selleck got like connected then? Because Selleck he went back to Vinton Studios got turned into Leica because Phil Knight ousted him or whatever, right?
Let's I'm going to
are we going to do like a Vinton deep dive?
Yeah, so Will Vinton is kind of the godfather of clay animation, claymation. He won an Academy Award for a very early short film he made. I think it's called Closed Monday, or I can't remember what it is. But he popularized claymation through characters such as Domino's the Pizza Noid, the little red guy.
Oh, I love the Noid.
The California Raisins.
California Raisins, where I fell in love with him.
California Raisins were huge. There is a really great documentary about Will Vinton. This is called Clay Dream.
Oh, cool.
And this documentary is all about Will Vinton and the Will Vinton Studios, and primarily about how Will Vinton Studios essentially had a hostile takeover by Phil Knight from Nike.
Yep.
And so
to give his son like a job.
It's all connected. Nepo babies. So
again, what's sad is like he's a good director. Like
he is.
Turbo Two Strings is incredible. Like Bumblebee is phenomenal. Like
so Phil Knight's son, is it Trevor Knight?
No.
So Phil Knight's son joined Will Vinton's Travis Knight. So Travis Knight joins Will Vinton Studios as just another animator. He's passionate about it. He's talented. But claymation at the time when Travis Knight joins
Will Vinton Studios, like he needed the money. Like it's so expensive.
And because his dad is the founder of Nike shoes, he essentially brings his dad on to help fund the animation company, and Phil Knight does it to support his son. But the thing that Phil Knight does is essentially puts a clause in the contract that says, as majority shareholder, I can make decisions to remove Will Vinton from the studio at any time under any circumstances.
Yeah.
And Will Vinton didn't see that to be a problem, didn't think that would actually happen, but that is exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Phil Knight came in, said, "You need to leave. My son is now going to run this company."
Yep.
There was a lawsuit. There's a trial. It's all part of this documentary.
I have to watch that.
Clay Dream. It's amazing.
It's wild because then Coraline, that's a Selleck film, is one of the greatest films ever. It's an incredible.
So the company gets rebranded as Leica, which primarily becomes just a regular stop motion animation studio. And then they put out, amazing films like Coraline and Paranorman, Kubo and the Two Strings, The Missing Link. Like all of their films are wonderful. If they're not amazing, they're just magic and wonderful. And stop motion animation has always impressed me and blown me away. But ever since watching this documentary, I do have a little bit of a sour taste in my mouth.
Absolutely. How can you not? How could you not? It's a shame. Like, cause it's a tale as old as time. Great artists
Exactly.
need funding from rich people.
Exactly.
And there's points when these great artists either lose control of what they've created or die poor and penniless or whatever.
Exactly.
And so, yeah, it sucks. It sucks that that's what happened.
Like every story about the record industry.
Yeah, or you can go back to like Mozart and stuff. Like, just you needed funding from the rich aristocracy to
Who screwed him over? Was it Def Jam?
It's definitely It's like the man has always been screwing the arts.
Yeah. But the claymation sequences in Return to Oz,
that's amazing.
They're incredible.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Let's see what else do I have here. Oh yeah, there's that cover. There's the Cinefix cover.
Looks like the shot he was taking.
It's exactly what it is.
Oh, it is. Okay.
But the thing that I love about the claymation is sometimes it just feels out of place. But like with the kind of fantastical nature of Oz, like none of it feels clunky or forced or.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I agree with that. I think it's because there are so many disciplines applied. It's almost like the hoverboard chase from Back to the Future 2. It's like you can't quite wrap your head around it, so you just go ahead and believe it.
Yeah, and maybe it's because they use the stones, which are very static or whatever, or wall or these rock formations, and it lends itself to it, kind of like how the first Jurassic Park, the dinosaurs look better because it's like dark and they don't much or whatever.
Totally.
Right? Yeah. Right.
I love this guy, Brandon. Jay, please come back.
Anytime. But yeah, no, it just works so well. And then the transition of the Gnome King from the claymation to like a human wearing makeup and stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
ooh, and I didn't know that was coming. I thought that was cool. It reminded me of Hellraiser.
Neat. And it was earned because it was like the more people forget Oz, whatever, the more human he can become, and like it was so dang cool.
Yeah.
And
felt very political.
Yeah. It's true.
I think it's cool too because a big part of like claymation is they tend to do like a lot of like bright colors, right? Like they're almost like trying to like just that's part of the thing that's like pleasing to the eye is all of the colors they're using, whereas their goal is to match real rocks.
Exactly.
So there's that shot where Dorothy is crying at the foot of the Gnome King, and then the hand kind of comes out of the rock and then cuts to like a hand on set patting her on the back. But just the ability to match the existing rock on set, which obviously would be a fake rock, but to match the color and the texture of that rock to have the hand come out, or one of the shots, which is a split second, but after, so I should say actually, the man in this photo here that I'm showing with the Gnome King eating Jack Pumpkinhead, his name is Doug Aberley. And he was one of the primary claymation animators. He has a video, which I will, after this show ends, I'll put it down in the description. But he has like this 20-minute video where he talks about what it was, the process of working at Will Vinton Studios when they got Return to Oz, and all of the process. And he name drops all the people that worked on all the different claymation sequences.
Yeah.
And one of the things that he talks about is at the very beginning of the film, when Dorothy transports to Oz, she's in the Deadly Desert and she walks across the rocks. The very first face you see comes on a little rock as Dorothy is walking over top.
It's the eyeball, right? Kind of.
Yeah.
Yes, and it casts Dorothy casts a shadow on the rock. Well, the animator, his name is Barry Bruce. He was actually the head of the whole Return to Oz claymation department, but he was an animator himself. He had to not only animate the eye on that rock, but he also had to animate the shadow to match the existing shadow that Fairuza Balk puts on the rock as she walks by. And it's all of that level of detail that just sells the effect. This is this Gnome King is interesting too, because he also points out in that video, and you can see it in this, the rig that Jack Pumpkinhead is attached to allow for the animation, as well as the elbow joint. The arm isn't actually connected, so the arm and the elbow and the wrist, they're actually not connected, and that's why in the movie you never see his elbow is always off frame, because there's no actual elbow. It's two separate pieces.
Oh wow!
To allow them to animate it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Meaning the arm, there's no shoulder attaching the torso to the arm piece.
Yeah, the shoulder goes to the elbow, so there's no actual elbow. The elbow is the
I gotcha.
The stand and the mechanism that allows them to have the arm and wrist separate from the arm and the shoulder.
Gotcha.
So next time you watch the film, Jay, you'll be able to to see that.
Hell yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. So
Brandon.
One of the things I'm actually really excited about is, I didn't know, but Will Vinton made a movie in 1985 called The Adventures of Mark Twain. It's a full
I've heard of that
claymation movie. So one of the episodes down the line, we will talk a little bit more about Will Vinton, and probably, I mean, I guess we did talk about him tonight, but delve more into that when we cover his film. A bunch of different animators. So Craig Bartlett did the rock faces. Joan Gratz did the hand door, which I think is such a cool effect.
Yeah.
When the Gnome King challenges and they have to go into the ornament room, and those hands all open up the door.
It did kind of seem though like Ace Ventura doing the talking out of his butthole.
There's a lot of Ace Ventura in this film. We're finding out tonight.
I thought that one was cool the first time, but then we had to watch it 4 different times, and it was kind of like, we're losing the effect. We're losing the effect.
You know what's funny is, I thought the same thing in terms of like, okay, yeah, we're seeing them enter separate times, but I was like, you know what? At least we're not seeing them go in and choose 3 separate ornaments every single time. Like, that would have really slowed that movie down.
Well, I
feel like I would have been interested in
it. But it adds to the suspense too, and it just makes it more stressful once she gets in there.
Yeah,
what we saw is not at all what I thought I would see. Like, I understand. Oh, I'm building what this ornament room, this fucking trophy room looks like.
Yeah.
Oh, they've all been ornamentized. Like, oh, okay, they're ornaments now. Like,
yeah.
What does
they're in a tree, Christmas tree.
Yeah.
I wanna show this before we jump off the claymation stuff. This photo real quick. So this is an image from Cinefex magazine, and I don't know if you guys can see it or if you at home can see it very well, but the tool that the animator is using is actually it's a dental mirror.
A dental mirror, yeah.
And it was a gag that they did they knew that they were coming to shoot for Cinefex magazine or something, or promo photos. And so he was pretending to work with a dental mirror in it, and they chose this photo and they put it into Cinefex magazine. So
that's hilarious. There's some Ghostbuster stories like that too. That's very funny.
So like the thing that just blows me away with this movie is those visual effects, the special effects, all of that stuff. I'm so impressed by it. And that was all Will Vinton came onto the project in 1982. So they started developing all of that stuff, character designs, figuring out how they were going to do all of that rock work over the course of 2 years, because they shot the film in 1984.
I told you this was an expensive movie.
I'm seeing $28 million was the budget.
Yeah, $28 million, which is, I think, what the budget with marketing is, because through my notes, it was originally supposed to be a $30 million movie, and then they got chopped down to $25 million.
Okay. It grossed $11 million in the United States, but did better out overseas, it's saying.
Exactly.
So
Um,
it probably broke even once you put like tape sales and stuff in there, right? Maybe.
maybe
Yeah, but in the
barely.
business, that's a failure.
Yeah, that's a total
No,
failure.
I get it. I get it.
But that being said, did you know that the original Wizard of Oz actually wasn't a hit when it
Yeah,
came out?
that was a box office
It was a
failure as
flop,
well.
and it
Yep.
didn't start. It didn't get kind of popular until it
It
was
wasn't until
re-released.
TV,
Well,
wasn't it?
To
after the
Laserdisc, I
war,
think.
it was after the after the war ended. They re-released Wizard of Oz again. It
Yeah,
did much better, and then it became the icon that we know because it played every year
on
at
TV.
Christmas
Yeah.
on TV. Yes,
Yeah.
and
That
that's
was
why it's affected us in that way.
that's why my dad bought the tape, because he, like, for him, it was like it was every year, once a year, it was on TV, and it was just such a, I don't know, integral moment for him growing up. That's why he
Yeah.
wanted to buy the tape.
It was my mom's favorite movie too.
Yeah. And
The
I
whole
think,
generation, I think.
yeah, I absolutely agree.
And
And it makes sense. You only have like 2 channels, 3 channels. So like,
and it's
Yeah.
still to this day is like an impressive film. It looks great.
it
The
looks so
songs
good.
are great. Like it's a wonderful, wonderful movie. It's a
Mhm.
wonderful Wizard of Oz.
You
I don't
could
get it.
go pay $110 at the Sphere in Las Vegas and go watch
Exactly.
it.
And I know, and go watch some AI generated slop.
It looks
Get
so bad.
It
It
looks
looks
so
so
bad.
bad.
Yeah. I did.
Digital Zero would like to hang on. I just left it here. He said he would like to know what 1985 rock
Ooh, this is
album
a
needs
great
to be
question.
played with Return of the Oz, like Dark Side of the Moon played with the
Oh
original.
yeah, that's
Is
funny.
there a counterpart?
I'm a big movie guy. I love music, but I don't know that much about music, so I don't even know what came out in 1985.
Well, the thing is Dark Side of the Moon's 72,
Oh yeah, I guess it
73, so it
doesn't
doesn't have to
necessarily.
be
Right.
that year. It could
Yeah.
be anything that kind of what matches the vibes
Right.
of that.
Yeah.
Actually, maybe like Oingo Boingo or something.
Yeah, something. Yeah.
Some Danny Elfman shit.
And they
Yeah.
were doing, he was doing movie soundtracks in 85.
I will say that there was a joke in the Muppets Wizard of Oz that did make me laugh. Is like when Dorothy, in that version, when Dorothy gets transported to Oz. I think it was Rizzo. Rizzo pops up and he's like, "Okay, you can put on Dark Side of the Moon now."
Oh, that's funny.
That's a funny joke. Uh, we were talking about special effects. I found this breakdown. It's actually in the Cinefex article.
Okay.
Gary Kurtz. We didn't talk about him, but Gary Kurtz was the executive producer
Yep.
on this film. Gary Kurtz is most famous for producing Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back.
Mhm.
He did also do The Dark Crystal, which is, I
Mhm.
think, what kind of got him in this world to do Return of Oz. But in the Cinefex, he has a breakdown. The budget was $25 million. And he says 20% of it is straight to effects. $1 million on the creatures, 2 million on the claymation and optical effects, 500,000 on matte paintings and miniatures, and 2 million on mechanical effects, all
Wow.
within 2 years of production. So Walter Murch has been working on this film with all in pre-production for 2 years. And 7 weeks into filming, actual shooting days, he gets exhausted and overwhelmed and almost walks off the project.
Wow.
He technically gets fired for a couple of days, but because of his connections through his early sound editing, sound designing and film editing career, he has very important friends in the film industry. So George Lucas hears that Walter Murch is struggling on the film and is maybe getting fired, and he's in Japan. He's with Akira Kurosawa apparently in Japan. You
Amazing.
know, an idol of his, the man who created the films that essentially inspired him to make Star Wars.
Yep.
And he leaves Japan to fly back to London to help Walter Murch and essentially just be there as a guiding light to help his friend, and also tells Disney like, hey, if he starts slacking again, I'll be there to help pick up the slack. If you need someone to shadow or secretly direct if things go like I'm here. So
That's
he goes,
wild.
he just hangs out on the set. He helps out as kind of as just like a sound, a bounce, what's the word I'm looking for? Like a soundboard for
Sounding
his
board.
friend. Yeah.
Is there, because like Gary Kurtz and Lucas had a falling out by that point, right? Like I wonder if that's a component of it.
Well, the other thing too is I couldn't find out exactly when, or I only saw it at one point, but apparently Gary Kurtz was a let go from this film as well. But he
Okay.
was he was able to keep the executive producer credit.
Okay.
There was a
Okay.
couple other producers that were on site, on set. So
Mm-hmm.
that could have been part of it too, is that like, yes, because Gary Kurtz famously is not the producer on Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, and he hated what Lucas changed and everything,
Yes.
and was vocal about it. So
Yes.
yeah.
So yeah, maybe Gary Kurtz was not on the Return to Oz set at this time. So George
Well, I guess
Lucas
Francis
is.
Ford Coppola had support too for
I
it.
was just gonna say. So George Lucas is on set with his friend, and a few days later, Francis Ford Coppola shows up to support his friend. So now Francis Ford Coppola and George Lucas are there helping out Walter Murch, and then another guy shows up by the name of Steven Spielberg. He shows up on set to
Wow.
lend an ear to his friend. So for a week in production, Coppola, Lucas, and Spielberg are all on set, just as
Hang on. In all fairness, it also could be said that they were giving him advice or bolstering his
yeah,
confidence, or I'm sure it
that's
was a twofold.
that's exactly what they were there for.
Yeah.
They were just there to support their friend, somebody that they also could see the genius qualities in his other
Yes.
in his contribution to the technical side of film, his directorial debut, this big budget Disney film.
Yeah.
And if he's on the verge of an emotional breakdown, like they're there for emotional support as well as
exactly,
But
public
also,
PR support.
it's such a baller move. Like this actually answers the question I opened at the beginning of this episode. It's like, how the hell did like Disney let this one go through?
Yeah.
yeah,
It's the fact that you had old Stevie Spielberg, Georgie Lucas,
yeah,
old Francis Ford Coppola. Like, oh shit, we want to piss those guys off. Fine, they can make
exactly.
it. We'll take the loss. Like, we don't want to. These are
Yep.
important relationships.
Yep.
We don't want to screw
We'll
it
eat
up.
it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe George will direct the next one for us.
Yeah,
Exactly.
right.
Exactly.
Yeah. So here's a photo of George Lucas sitting with Fairuza Balk on set from that
God, that's
week.
crazy.
Yeah. Is she playing a Game and Watch, a Nintendo Game and Watch?
And he's got a little fan on her.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wasn't
That
looking
looks like
at
a
that,
Game
but
and Watch.
I thought she was reading something, but I think you might be right.
It's like a little rectangular piece of red plastic. I would bet money that's a Nintendo Game and Watch.
that's why you have Geek Dad Life on the show. I'm
curious what it is.
Yeah, and
I want to know whose chair he's sitting in.
Yeah, did they have them made real quick?
Well, yeah, not one for him, I bet.
Yeah.
But Fairuza, she was in hers, and I wondered how he was his with it.
Yeah. So at that point, they had, 7 weeks into production. They shot for a couple of months. At this point, they kind of had figured out a couple of ways to speed up shooting.
Mhm.
One of the things I learned from the documentary was, George Lucas's advice to Walter Murch was to shoot the master, the wide shot, the shot, shoot the whole scene, and then you get all your coverage, your inserts, your close-ups, all after the fact.
Right.
Walter Murch wasn't doing that. He was doing all the little setups and all of the close-ups that he needed, because there was so many puppets and technical things that were going on that he was like, why even shoot the master? You're never going to use it because there's always puppeteers in the shot. You can't hide everything in all the masters.
And he's an editor, so he knows what he's going to use ahead of time.
That's exactly right. But George suggested to him, you know what? Shoot the master, because that gets everybody on board. You know, not everybody can look at storyboards and see the vision for what's being
He's right.
shot and what
He's totally right.
what we're working on this day. But if you shoot the master and everybody sees the scene, sees what's trying to be done, when it comes to all your setups and your reverses and all of that other stuff that, you know, cuts
Speeds
together
it
to
all
make a movie,
along.
everybody's on the same page now.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, when it came to editing, Walter Murch actually found that he was able to use some of the masters that they shot. So
Yeah.
that was the big sort of advice, the big nugget that George Lucas brought to the film.
Also, at the very least, if you ever run out of time or somebody gets sick or whatever, at the very least you have your scene captured. Otherwise, a lot of it is never even captured. Even if you didn't get the coverage you intended to get, at least your scene is captured.
Yeah.
It's wild to me because that so perfectly encapsulates the different like mindsets of George, and then his one of his better editors, sound editors, film editors, is because like George is always big picture. He needs great like script writers and editors to actually make the thing more effective.
Mm-hmm.
But in this sense, like being more methodical was actually hurting it, and that perspective of no, you need to kind of get everybody on board with the vision and how we're executing and stuff was the thing that actually helped that. It's a really cool story. That's really neat.
Yeah. It's just I think it's one of those things that, like, you know, we all, you know, tout George Lucas as this like genius because, you know, we enjoy the thing that he gave us.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that there's also people are like, well, he's, you know, he only directed the first one, and then people didn't like the prequels when it came out, and, you know, like, is he really that real? Is he really that smart when it comes to this kind of stuff? But it's
how important is he to the process?
Exactly. But when I hear a story like that, I go, ah, yes, he does. He is the George Lucas that I know and love, right?
He's like you know creatives that are like that, where they're great with the big picture and the vision and all that kind of stuff, but in execution maybe it's not always there or whatever. And yeah, that's what. But again, like, but you just look at American Graffiti or THX.
Oh, that's a good one.
Or, you know, like it's there. He is talented, but there is a certain point where he shifts from the filmmaker to the media mogul, and and kind of just maybe doesn't even have the fight for it or whatever anymore. Like
you're right about that. It's like he wants to stop being a filmmaker and wants to be a billionaire.
Right. And you see it with musicians as well. Like once you lose the hunger, once you're not starving anymore.
Yeah.
Like, are you still able to effectively like create the art?
Yeah. And it's even that the idea of like at a certain point, people don't say no to George Lucas anymore.
Exactly.
Right? Because either he's at a point where people want him, or he's just creating his own special effects studios and he's making his own projects and building his own cameras, you know, digital cameras, and he's just doing everything that he wants to do, and nobody is telling him no at this point. That it does affect you in
absolutely
a way.
Yeah. And you need go ahead.
Oh no, just to both of your points, people are more like, well, we better get on board, otherwise he's just going to do it himself.
Exactly.
And then we're going to miss out.
So let him do whatever he wants to do.
Yeah.
Right. And just write the check.
Yeah, exactly.
That's where
James Cameron had the same thing, especially after Avatar, where they just kind of let him do whatever he wanted. He set up his own movie studio, and then he got a little comfortable.
I give Cameron credit that like he's still like, I like the Avatar films. I think they're really good. Either they have flaws or too long, whatever, but they're still incredible experiences. But the one I think I look to the most that I really enjoy is Steven Spielberg, who still he does not need to he didn't, I mean, post Schindler's List he gets his Oscar finally, and he had that year Schindler's List and Jurassic Park. What a year doing both of those films at the same time. And they're so culturally important. and everything he did up to that point, like you could just say at that point you're done. You don't need to do anything else. But then look at everything he's done since then. And I'm not saying everything's been perfect, but he's had incredible films. Even The Fablemans is an incredible film. To still be able to do that, that's when artists can still, even though he's a billionaire and he's a mogul and he is a huge business entity, to still be able to put out compelling art. That's the part that's really, like, you compare that to Francis Ford Coppola and it's like, oh, maybe he lost a step or two.
Yeah.
Poor Coppola. Oh my God, he's broke, man. He's selling all his shit.
He's selling. Is he really broke though? He owns the winery and stuff. Like,
I don't know that he owns it. I think it's a public thing now. Yeah.
And Megapolis is all his own money.
It was $120 million of his money.
100% his money. So
yeah, he just sold his island the other day. He sold his watch.
I know he's selling expensive watches. Yeah.
Well, and
but his point is that it'll make its money back, just probably not for 10 or 20 years.
And he is getting older, right? Like, he may be just thinking about his family and keeping.
But I bet that little block he owns, where his office and the restaurant are in San Francisco, I bet that block alone would be worth $100 million.
Oh, easily.
Yeah.
But anyway. Return to Oz.
Yeah. No, I love that.
Not talk about this movie.
I think I love Steven Spielberg. Let me just say that. But I have not been the biggest fan of his later career.
Agreed.
With the exception of The Fablemans. The Fablemans I absolutely loved. But that was such a personal movie for him that it kind of has a different energy. But I haven't really fully been on board with all of the movies that he's been making in his later career.
Well, name a few, because I agree with you, Brandon.
Well, BFG, I don't think is good.
I never saw that. Never saw that.
Ready Player One, I have seen one time, and I'm not the biggest fan of it.
I've tried it a few more times, and I
like it. I like Ready Player One. The book is terrible. The foundation that it was built on is terrible, right?
Okay.
It is so Memba Berries times 1,000. And as a geek that surrounds himself with memories, I'm offended by it. I'm like, you can't just be like, oh, it's a Back to the Future DeLorean, but it has Ecto 1 license plate and Knight Rider thing. I'm just like, come on, man. Like,
but isn't that his point? Is that in the future everything is all just hodgepodge together? Everything's a mashup.
But that's where it's like, to me, like in that movie, I understand. The problem is Steven can't go back to the magic that he had. Like from
the simplicity.
I feel like E.T. is the crescendo apex of the Spielberg magic, and I think Jurassic Park was the last pure version of that. But even then, he had a lot of movies that couldn't capture that same thing. I think I love Hook, but there's some people that hate Hook.
I'm not the biggest Hook fan. Like, I love Robin Williams, but I just can never get into Hook for some reason.
No, I can't either. What about Indiana Jones? You like the Indiana Joneses? Well, at least the first three.
The first three.
Yeah.
But to me, I still think what I love about what Steven Spielberg has done is he's just like, I don't need to. I think what him winning his Oscar allowed him to do is like, I can just do whatever I want. Like, I don't need to, like, I'll complete Stanley Kubrick's AI. I think AI is an incredible movie that I think
I don't like AI.
You don't like AI? I think it's an incredible.
I don't like it.
Okay, Catch Me If You Can. Catch Me If You Can.
Great. I always forget that that's a Spielberg movie.
Catch Me If You Can's great.
I even love The Terminal, although that is not fantastic.
Terminal is, I think, terrible, but like, whatever. I think it's. But the thing is, like, all of them are incredibly well directed movies.
Yes.
And there's just like an element of, he's just gonna do what he wants to do. I think Lincoln's a really good movie.
I never saw Lincoln.
Saving Private Ryan's really good. Bridge of Spies is really good. Like he's put out, I think, really, really good movies. But to your point, I feel like there's this element, but it's not E.T. but it's not Jurassic Park. And I don't want to fault him for that, because he got married, he has kids, like his perspective has changed. He got therapy, he worked through his familial trauma issues. But he
now he's
still
just stuck on aliens.
right.
Yeah.
But Fablemans I thought was so powerful because like, okay, here is the codex for all of the things that were always in Spielberg movies.
I also just
well, it's also kind of a primer on how the way he thinks and where the damage comes from.
Yeah,
it's a very small movie, which I think he did so well. There was just something like even E.T. E.T. is a small movie when you think about it, right?
Oh, it's very small.
The neighborhood that they're in,
Yeah, until NASA gets involved, it's really a family story.
Yeah.
Minority Report, that's another great Spielberg movie. Like,
not the biggest fan.
Really?
I'm also not the biggest fan of that one,
but
although I do like
Minority Report. But like the pinch to zoom thing, that's like everything we do now. It was
I know, but that's the meme to me, right? Like yeah. Like it's to your point, they're not bad movies. They're never ever like
BFG is bad. I will say I think BFG is bad. That one was the one I was like, this is God. Yeah. But Tintin, I thought Tintin was really good.
Disagree. I love that
Tintin?
series. I love the books. I love the cartoons as a kid. So I did not like the movie. Okay. And I really wanted to. I felt like he didn't do his research.
West Side Story. What about West Side Story? I thought it was great.
I didn't see it. I have to see West Side Story.
I think, nothing beats the original. It's hard. You can't. I think that's what was the flaw, but it's like, whatever. I've always want to make a musical. I want to do this one.
Yeah.
But I think it's really good. Like, War of the Worlds.
I don't like that movie at all.
I don't hate it.
I just rewatched it. Which one?
Crystal Skull, I think, is better with time.
I agree with that, especially now that Dial of Destiny's out, where it looks like a freaking, it's an Oscar winner.
Yeah.
So Crystal Skull to me, I have always said is like fine, but there's sequences in it that are so distractingly bad.
Yes.
Like Shia LaBeouf swinging. Yes. There's stuff in it that is like so like, I don't like this. But
the anthill, the Tarzan swinging.
Yes.
Yeah. It's really
the motorcycle chase through the school is awesome.
Yes.
Except one issue. Why does Indiana Jones, an educated professor at Yale, say library? You want to be an archaeologist, you got to get out of the library, he says.
I think the thing with that movie is it does get like muddy when he's not doing practical sets and he's got to do the green screen stuff. Like once he's in the jungle, like it doesn't. He loses his feel. He loses his feel because you're right. There's certain set pieces early on in the film. We're like, guys, this is phenomenal.
You're like, this is Indiana Jones.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Brandon, to your point, just because we're talking about that movie, the train in the beginning where Mutt finds him on the train, that's the train I always post in Connecticut where I grew up, Valley Railroad in Connecticut.
Okay.
Whoa.
Old 97 pulling out of Essex Station, although they rebranded it Bedford for the movie.
Yeah. Well, that was our Steven Spielberg section on A Blockbuster Year 1985.
Are you doing Color Purple? That's his 85 movie.
Yeah, we'll hit Color Purple. Yeah.
When Jack says, "May I call you mom, even though you're not my mom," that is a weird scene until the end when it pays itself off. Yeah, and we meet his real mom.
Yeah, but I thought it was just so sweet. I don't know. I thought like when he calls her mom the whole time, I thought it was really sweet.
Yeah, but she's like a 7-year-old girl.
I know, but there's just this like he's searching for comfort or whatever, and I just thought there was this.
You're right. It didn't occur to me because one's looking for a brain, one's looking for a heart, one's looking for courage, and maybe they're all looking for something too.
They are, because like TikTok, is he's got the limitations of the wind-up tool or whatever. And then
the best line in the whole movie: if his brain is run down, how can he talk?
Yes,
it happens to people all the time.
Such a great line.
Best line in the whole
movie. That's amazing.
And even more powerful today than it was then.
Exactly. Yeah.
So like to me, it's like, okay, you have this powder that makes a sentient being out of nowhere. So like, what is existence for this pumpkin head? He's worried about like rotting and stuff. And so he's like he's searching for meaning and like a purpose in life. And all he had was the person that brought him to life, for Ozma. And so I found it really endearing that like he called her mom, like, oh, you're my mom, because like I need somebody. And it's
little
like
lost puppy.
yeah, and it reminded me of also like a book I love as a kid and as being a parent, but Are You My Mother, where there's the bird falls out of the nest and just like everything is like, are you my mother? Are you my mother?
Yeah, I saw Ghostbusters, so it's Keymaster to me, you know.
But yeah, no, I thought that was really sweet.
Okay.
Any other things in the film, the plot? I mean, we've kind of touched on a lot of the big plot.
If there's not much plot.
Throughout this whole
we didn't talk about? We haven't talked about the Wheelers. How creepy are those guys?
Pretty creepy. That's some amazing work by those guys.
So my boys
and the wheels.
Yes, my boys all the time were like, are the wheels their hands? Like, do they have hands? I don't see any hands. Like, I was like, well, they probably covered up, but yeah, you're right. It looks like those
so
are
the character design of the Wheelers is they have wheels on their feet and wheels on their hand, or wheels for feet and wheels for hands.
Yes,
but they're elongated like Judge Doom.
Yeah, they had to design this whole system of them on these like stilts for their hands with the wheels on the front, and all of the performers had to practice and build the muscle memory because they're in like a weird position, you know, they're like in a, you know, like a dog walking position, hunched over, and apparently it was really, really difficult to learn how to do it. But one of the big advancements that they made is the back wheels. They had like kind of like a ratchet in them so that they couldn't roll backwards.
Smart.
So that they can actually walk.
Actually push off.
Yeah, you can push off. And the performers ended up getting so good. They did so much practicing in like, you know, a parking structure that was nearby the studio, and they would, you know, practice all throughout the Elstree studios, that they were at the premiere. They had them all, the Wheelers, running around the premiere. And then apparently they were at the premiere for what would it have been? Was it like Labyrinth or something? Some other sort of like dark fantasy movie that was connected. They brought the Wheelers back just for the premiere to like, you know, run around or roll around the audience to get everybody hyped up.
Wow.
I also love, just at least on the Wikipedia page, saying that it was incorporated characters of the film were a part of Disneyland's Main Street Electrical Parade.
Well, it's great that you bring that up.
Oh, do you have images?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is great.
So you know, the film comes out, or the film is coming out, and it's a Walt Disney film, so they're gonna advertise as best they can. So what do? They build a Return to Oz parade float for Disneyland and put it in the Main Street Electrical Light Parade.
Hell yeah.
My favorite parade of all time.
It's so good.
So these are the photos I found online. These are this is just somebody's photos from like, you know, their aunt. So yeah,
that looks like a marionette.
Yeah, you can see the strings there connected to Jack Pumpkinhead. There's a cast member portraying a young Dorothy with a chicken in tow. Here's another photo. That's obviously the Dorothy and Bellina, but I don't know who the other people are supposed to be.
It's just like you know, citizens of Oz.
Yeah, I mean, like,
did Dorothy have pigtails in this? I don't remember that.
Yes, she has. Braids? Yeah, she has braids. Yeah, I think there's one more. Yeah, so there's another photo. There's a Dorothy waving on the float.
How long was it a part of the Main Street Electrical Parade? I'm curious.
That I don't know. It just said that it just came out in like 1985. It was part of so probably that season, whatever.
What I loved about, because I grew up in San Diego, so real close to Disneyland, and we were a working class family, but we could afford to go to Disneyland then. It was like our yearly kind of thing, and but still, like legacy stuff, even into the 90s, was still there. Because I remember like People Mover, they still had like the Tron section of the People Mover, or God, just like I'm blanking on other things, but like there would be legacy old Disney stuff from the 80s or early 80s before I was born that was still hanging around. So I'm curious how long this hung around Disneyland.
Yeah, maybe you were so traumatized by it that you closed your eyes when this parade
Maybe
went by. Yeah.
I first went to Disneyland in 1988, so I'd be curious if it
Oh
was
yeah.
still hanging
I have
around.
a feeling that based on what happened at the box office, these parade floats did not stick around till 1988. But that's just a feeling I have.
Well, Disney had to say like, "Hey, we spent money on it. We're gonna make
Yeah.
it, we'll milk it as long as we can."
Yeah, you're like, okay, well, take off the Return to Oz, make it, I don't know, Mickey's glowing ballroom set.
So these days, if it was a flop, would they just keep it out there to advertise home video sales? So people would be like, "Oh, at least I'll go buy the Blu-ray."
Yeah, Disney Plus streams. Yeah,
Right, exactly. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's wild to me, like Disney decided to nuke such an integral part of their revenue stream, which is the Disney Vault, and just bringing out DVDs and stuff like that,
Yeah,
but making a streaming service. I think they regret it big time.
I think so too. I mean, uh, we talked about Willow earlier in this episode because Gene Marsh is in it, and one of the craziest things is like for Disney Plus to develop this whole Willow TV show and
Mhm.
then just completely kill it, and it doesn't exist anymore. You
Yeah.
cannot watch this Willow TV show as and it's like essentially like a tax write-off of some sort.
Yeah.
They get
Gross.
money back because it doesn't exist anymore. It's crazy.
Like the Batgirl movie. It's just like, come
Exactly.
Yeah,
on.
if
It
they
just
write it
doesn't
off, they
exist
write it
anymore.
off.
Yeah.
And that's where it's like I'm desperate. I think is Andor both seasons of Andor on Blue or DVD or whatever. Yeah, I need to like. There's just certain series that I'm like, I
Yeah.
need these on physical
Yeah.
because I don't want these ever taken away from me.
Yeah. I feel that way. Like I was so excited when they put Prey, the Predator movie, out
Yes,
on
yes.
4K because I was like, how come I couldn't see this movie in the theater?
Oh,
Right.
what
Like,
I would have given. It's a
yeah.
perfect. I mean, and it goes to show the new Predator movie, Badlands, is crushing it.
Yeah. I did not enjoy it.
Oh, I
This
haven't
is
seen it yet. I haven't seen it yet.
okay. I won't say
Spoilers.
I won't say anything then. This is not the show. We're talking about 40-year-old movies,
Yeah.
not 4-day-old movies. All right.
Did Michael Eisner approve this? Was he running Disney at the time?
So
Or
Michael
is this like a
Eisner,
weird transition thing?
yes,
Ah,
he came in late. There was 3 changes in Disney's corporate, team during the production of Return to Oz.
ah.
And Michael Eisner came in as the CEO partway through, and I think this happens a lot in the industry is when a head changes, they're analyzing, okay, well, what projects are we working on, what are we doing, and you kind of have to like repitch, and kind
Yes,
of
you do.
like
Mhm.
say like, well, we're halfway through this, here's the dailies, here's what's happening, and the
Otherwise,
production.
you're facing shelf, you're facing turnaround. There's all they
Exactly.
could just kill your movie entirely.
Exactly. And the production on Return of Oz, they felt very much that they were being scrutinized when Eisner came in.
Mhm.
Wasn't it didn't say specifically that Eisner was doing the scrutinizing, but
Yeah.
during that transition,
He was
they
turning the
felt
screw. Yeah.
yeah, they felt very much like they were being watched and monitored, and
Yeah.
but back
I'm
to
sure
what we were
everybody
talking
was,
about.
to be fair. I'm sure
Yes.
everyone was during that period.
And back to what we were talking about with the inclusion of George Lucas, Ford, Coppola, and Spielberg, I'm sure that had a big impact
Oh,
on why this
absolutely.
movie. Yeah,
Yeah.
Because Michael Eisner's a savvy dude. Like, and he's like, okay, well, I want like we got Star Tours going on, like
Wonderful World of Disney's back.
well,
yeah. It's like
and
I'm not messing with that relationship.
to that point, Michael Eisner is like a whimsy kind of guy, right? He
Mhm.
He
wants
is.
the fun. He
He'll take a
wants the
chance. Yes.
but I think
But
that he would look at something like Return to Oz and go like, why isn't it colorful? Why isn't
yeah,
there songs? Why aren't we trying to make a sequel to Wizard of Oz?
yeah,
Why not do that, right?
yeah.
Why is this so scary, sad, and depressing?
So
Exactly.
say Eisner got in a little earlier and he has that kind of influence, and you take the same level of technical wizardry, character designs, but you add fun, memorable songs,
Yep.
and
Mhm.
you make it more colorful and
Lighten it up a little.
lighten it up a little. Does it fundamentally change this into a beloved sequel to a beloved original?
I think
Maybe.
so. I
Yeah,
think
me too.
so.
Probably. Yeah.
One of
because
the
the story's all there. We
Yeah,
pointed
the
out it's
story's
beat for beat. It's beat
yeah,
for
it's the
beat.
same deal. Like and it feels like, oh, we had a tornado, we have a flood. You know, like
Yeah.
these things feel they don't feel that far away, but they don't feel rehashed really. Like
I don't know if it's shot the same and maybe it feels the same, but I think performance-wise, Verussa is every bit as good as
absolutely. Just maybe not as good a singer as Judy
Judy
Garland.
Garland.
no,
Yeah.
as Judy Garland though, as an
Yeah.
actor. Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
But
Yeah.
again, like they weren't trying to find a singer, right? Like that's part of the reason
right.
why Judy Garland is, what is she like? She's like 16 playing 11,
Yeah.
whereas Fairuza Balk is basically playing her age. She's 9 or 10 years old, whatever it was, which is kind of what Dorothy is supposed to be. Dorothy is supposed to be younger, but you know, um, Judy Garland is very much a young woman, a teenager
Yeah.
in that film. She's taller.
Mhm.
She looks older.
Yeah.
She's drinking
But
bourbon.
She's drinking bourbon.
She's on methamphetamine wherever they're pumping her up.
uppers
That's
and
right.
downers.
Poor
That's
soul.
right.
That
Oh
poor
my
Bourbon and
God.
pills.
Poor Judy.
Yeah.
But that's exactly what they were going for. They needed a singer, they needed a young woman, and they got that in Judy Garland. They needed a good young actress, they got that in Fairuza Balk. But
Mhm.
I do think so. I think if it was colorful, if it
Mhm.
was more of a connected in tone to
Mhm.
the 39 film, I do think it would have been much more loved.
Mhm.
Yeah. People wouldn't have felt the bait and switch because Return to Oz implies, oh, we're going to continue this little
Going
story.
back.
Well, as GDL said at the beginning of the show, his parents thought it was the sequel
Yeah.
to Wizard of Oz, right?
I mean, how do you not?
Yeah.
And it's Disney. It's
Yeah, exactly. All of it should be magical.
Wish Upon a Star and all that
Yeah,
jazz.
from the people who brought you Herbie the Love Bug.
Actually, speaking of Wish Upon a Star, one of the interesting things about Return to Oz is it's the first time that classic blue Walt Disney Pictures logo is ever used.
I was gonna ask because I was just like, oh, did they like transfer this from like an old home video or something? Because it is in the
on the Disney
Plus. Watched on Disney Plus, and I was like,
me too.
This is an old transfer. I was like, oh,
Nope.
I didn't realize that was the first one.
First time. And then the other film released in 1985 from Walt Disney is The Black Cauldron, which we'll do on this show. That's the first time that When You Wish Upon a Star is used with that logo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I have to like rewatch it because I didn't even track like it wasn't the
Yeah, it doesn't have do 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 do. We're gonna get copyright strike now because that was so good.
You were like pitch perfect on that. It was incredible.
Well, okay, so let's, I think we've hit everything that's important in the film.
Yeah.
You had sort of GDL, you had sort of mentioned the box office, but so comes out June 21st, 1985, right at the start of the summer.
Same day as Cocoon.
Exactly the same day as Cocoon, and Cocoon destroyed Return to Oz at the box office. Return to Oz debuted at number 7 that week. Played for 5 weeks only and made $10.6 million domestically at the box office. That's it.
What did Cocoon make opening?
I did not write down Cocoon.
Oh, okay.
But here is the top 10 for that week, June 21st. So number 1 is Cocoon, new film. Number 2 is Rambo. It's been in theaters for 5 weeks. Rambo: First Blood Part 2.
There we go.
I was gonna say, I was like, that's okay, yeah, cool.
Yeah,
okay.
which we covered on the show with Paul Sun-Hyung Lee. Great episode.
Oh hell yeah, nice.
Number 3 is Goonies, which is a huge film.
Great film.
For this year. Number 4 is Life Force, horror movie, which looking forward to covering. That's also new this week. Fletch, number 5.
Nice.
Chevy Chase. Prizzy's Honor is number 6. Prizzy's Honor, which is a film I've never seen with Jack Nicholson.
Yeah, never heard of it.
Yeah, Jack Nicholson film.
Okay.
Number 7, Return to Oz. Number 8, James Bond: View to a Kill has also been in theaters for 5 weeks.
A View to a Kill. Okay.
Number 9, Brewster's Million, first movie we covered on this show.
Nice.
And then number 10, a film that I actually didn't even. It's not on our list because I hadn't heard of it, but it's a film called Secret Admirer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
well.
I'll have to add it to the list. But so debuts number 7, plays for 5 weeks, and then is out of theaters. Siskel and Ebert both disliked this film. They could not stop comparing it to the 39 Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, how do
And I
you know?
think most people, when it came out, that's exactly what they were doing.
Yeah.
I did.
They both gave it thumbs down. And because I put together this little slideshow, I was like, well, I haven't shown this on the show yet, but I have to. Where is it? I have to. There we go. There's the Siskel and Ebert thumbs down.
I'm kind of surprised this movie was PG, actually, even though I know Disney doesn't,
Well,
they don't push the
was there
envelope.
13 yet? Was 1384
Yeah, I think it's 84. What is
for
No,
Temple of Doom?
Yeah, I think
Yeah, it was
Temple of Doom
Temple
is
of
the
Doom.
first PG-13 movie. Yeah.
yeah.
One of the other interesting things I found was this newspaper clipping, and it'll be too hard for you guys to read, I'm sure, but I have the quote here. So this is.
Are you implying we're older than you, Brandon?
No, it's just the writing's very, very small. So July 7th, 1985. This is the Lumberton, North Carolina.
Holy shit! I went to school right outside of Lumberton.
Yes, so North Carolina, that's where you live.
Lumberton's the middle of fucking nowhere, North Carolina.
When I pulled this, I didn't even realize that North Carolina.
That's hilarious.
That's so weird. What are the chances of that?
But it looks like it's an AP press thing, so this is the only one that survives. So this is probably everywhere.
Okay.
Because it says it's Associated Press, so they just picked it up off of the flyer or whatever. Yeah.
Well, this image that or this newspaper was on like the Google, basically like the Google microfiche. It was just like I was but yeah, so this is Ray Bolger is the final surviving cast member of Wizard. Margaret Hamilton, who played the Wicked Witch of the West, she died in 1985, and so they're talking to Ray Bolger, and he has a quote in here.
Okay.
That says, he essentially he has no intentions of watching the new Return to Oz film, but he says they have a beautiful young lady as Dorothy, and what I've seen of the film looks intriguing. It might be interesting for today's young people to see another version of the story.
Yes, very, very diplomatic.
Very diplomatic. I was curious if he got paid for this one because the only character that sort of resembles one of the originals is the Scarecrow, even though it's not a real person.
Yeah.
But that's straight out of the book. He looks just like the book.
He looks exactly like the version of the book. And actually when the budget was cut, one of the things that got cut from the film was a full animatronic face for Scarecrow.
For the Scarecrow. Okay.
And that's why he kind of just is like a printed sack, with a small amount of movement in it.
Yeah. But unlike the Tin Man and the Lion, the Scarecrow does resemble the Scarecrow we know.
Yeah. Well, I think it's also just it's a Scarecrow, so there's probably some. But
well, no, I mean, because even the Jack-o'-lantern looks more like a Scarecrow than the Scarecrow does, in my opinion, in real life.
Yeah,
but he actually looks like the Ray Bolger character playing the Scarecrow.
But I gotta challenge Ray Bolger as the last surviving because a few of the actors and actresses that played the Munchkins
Lollipop Land,
lived for a while because they used to go to San Diego Comic-Con and I met a few some members of the Lollipop Guild.
I think they're referring to the main cast,
surviving principal member.
Yes, exactly. Because I thought the exact same thing.
I think the Lollipop Guild are principal members. Okay. They're principled.
Justice for the Lollipop Guild.
Justice for the Lollipop Guild.
The last thing I have written down here is Return to Oz was nominated for visual effects at the Academy Awards that year and lost to Cocoon.
You know what's funny? Cocoon doesn't have that many visual effects in it either. There's only like a couple different shots.
Just a popularity contest.
Yeah.
Definitely. Okay. I think we've hit just about everything on Return to Oz.
I found there to be a lot of late exposition in this movie. It seemed like once Oz came back, and then there was all this like, oh, and this is this, and they were covering up like holes or tying up loose ends or something.
It ended too quick. I was with Dorothy, like, hey, I don't want to actually leave. I said I want to go back eventually, but like,
not right this second.
Yes, I finally got all my friends back. Don't make me go.
Yeah.
Also, she was just going to disappear this time. At least there was like a hot air balloon last time. She was going to fly there or something.
Well, now she knows. She just has to say no place like home. She already knows what she's got to do.
Exactly.
Now
And now she can just
right.
transfer through the mirror whenever
Yeah.
she wants, I guess.
Just do.
I forgot.
Everyone
That's right.
should try it at home. Just do the OZ on your mirror. See if it takes.
Yep.
There was a lot of Alice in Wonderland, didn't it feel like through the looking glass?
Yeah, through the looking glass. Yeah.
In this one,
fair comparison. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The last thing I like to do on this show, GDL, is do you know the app Letterboxd? Have you heard of it?
Yep.
Okay. I love Letterboxd. Are you on Letterboxd?
No.
Okay.
Maybe I should be. I do know of it. One of my favorite podcasts is Blank Check with Griffin and Dave. And
me too. Me too. Huge blankie over here.
No.
So on Letterboxd, it's essentially a cataloging app. You know, you catalog the movies that you've watched, that you want to watch. You give them star ratings, and people write reviews for movies on Letterboxd. So I like to go through the reviews on Letterboxd, and I like to read some of them on the show. So, so these are all Return to Oz, obviously Letterboxd reviews. Johnny says, obsessed with whoever was in the pitch meeting. Like, okay, so it's a direct sequel to The Wizard of Oz, and Dorothy is institutionalized. 3 stars.
Genius.
Con Film says, Wizard of Oz. Rainbows, singing, dancing, and magic. Return to Oz. Everything you loved is gone. Beheaded women. Terror and fear everywhere. Beware the Wheelers. Trauma. 3.5 stars. Doug says, how about a sequel to The Wizard of Oz, except there's no songs, none of your favorite characters return, and everything is fucking terrifying. 4 stars.
They're nailing it.
Are these out of 10 or is it out of 4?
5.
Out of
5
5.
stars.
Okay.
5 stars. Tessa says, the most perfect children's horror movie ever made. 4 stars and a heart. Brian says, yeah, it is true. Brian says, returning to Oz should or could become a euphemism for uncorking repressed childhood trauma. 3 stars. And then
we talked about that. I think
I know, exactly.
It's a verb.
This one I pulled more just for me because I thought it was funny. The Grimm writes, Twin Peaks, The Return to Oz. And that's a reference.
Nice. That's a good one.
Yes.
Nice.
That's funny.
You know, Piper Laurie. I was like, that's smart. I have to share that one on the show.
But also just tonally, what the fuck is going on? Just like Twin Peaks.
Yeah, exactly.
All these weird characters, small town.
So that leads us into, we do our own star ratings on the show. Out of 5 stars, half stars are allowed.
Okay.
Jay Ryan, do you want to go first? Do you want to give us your star rating for Return to Oz?
No, I think somebody else should go first today.
Okay.
I'll go first.
You ready? You ready to go?
I'd like to hear a positive review first.
Sure.
So out of 5?
Yeah, out of 5 stars.
I'm going to give it a really solid 4. I think it's a really damn good movie. I appreciate, like, would it have been more memorable and popular if it kept the tone and the song feel of the first one? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But in a world where we got so much crap out there, I look at it as just like, this is a special, I'm glad this exists. And it to me, it represents, like, it's not a bad movie, I don't think. And there's just so much incredible stuff in it. And it doesn't deviate from the formula, really. And it introduces fantastical characters, and it is way scarier, and it screwed me up as a little kid, and I didn't go back to it for decades later. But I think it is absolutely worth a rewatch if you haven't in a long time. And I think it's a phenomenal movie. A hidden classic.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. That's wonderful. Do you want to go next, Jay Ryan, or do you want me to go next?
No, I'm happy to go. I just wanted somebody to say something positive.
Okay.
I actually agree with everything he said past his rating. I just can't get there. I don't find it to be a good movie, even though I find all of the pieces that make it to be good. It's one of those, it's not whatever. It's not the sum.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm gonna give it 2 stars because I didn't know what to expect, so I came in not getting what I wanted out of this.
Wait, so you came into it expecting Wizard of Oz 2? Electric Boogaloo?
Or some version thereof. Yeah, I had never heard of it, so I didn't know what it was going to be.
Wow.
Except I did read all the comments from everybody on the social media last week. Saying like, "Oh, nightmares of my youth," etc.
Yeah.
But what I saw was, bizarre and interesting. Yet, as much as whatever I didn't like about it, I could not argue that there was quality on the screen, that this was expensive stuff, that these were good effects, that this was a big set or whatever, that the music was surprisingly good and the sound design was surprisingly good, I thought. I mean, like, there's a lot of good stuff here. I don't know that there's a lot of good filmmaking techniques applied. I don't know if it's good storytelling. I don't think it is. You asked me if I thought it was a good movie. No, I don't think so. But I do think that there's a lot of great stuff in it that will rewatch this one. And I agree with everything you said about I'm glad it exists. I like weird movies. I like movies that are sort of off the radar. And I love big swings. I love big swings.
Yes.
And this feels like a massive swing.
It's an insane swing.
Yeah, so like I kind of like it more than I thought it would, but I can't agree that it's a good movie yet. Maybe I need to watch it again. Maybe we'll do a revisit podcast, 1985 redo.
Yeah, Redux. Speaking of Apocalypse Now.
But like, I'm not sorry. there've been movies where I'm like, I want that hour and a half back. You know what I mean? This isn't one of those. I'm glad that I was exposed to it. I'm curious. I couldn't find it anywhere, and I don't have Disney Plus, so I found my computer, but if it's on sale on Apple TV, I might buy it. Yeah. Just so I could try it again. Yeah. So I mean, that was a very long
Brandon's VHS copy.
Yeah, I'll send it in the mail. Send it in the mail.
Thank you.
No, it's fair. I see all of that, and I think I'm aware of all of that because this isn't a movie that I'm watching.
A couple things, it would have been so much better,
Yeah, because it's not a movie I'm watching every single year. This episode is only the second time I've seen it, but I'm so in love with the aspect of the visual effects and the people that contributed to this project.
Yeah,
that I'm so blinded by it. But
all the art in it was fabulous.
Yeah. And I am really impressed with Fairuza Balk's performance. I think if her performance was grating, I think it would be a harder film to watch for me. But I thoroughly enjoy everybody in the movie. I think they all do such a great job. The tone, I'm aware, is weird. And even the first time I watched it, I was like, yeah, this is a weird movie.
But the tone is weird and gets weirder as it goes, it seems.
Yeah.
But to me, it's of its era. There's so Black Cauldron's weird and spooky and has weird tone.
Dark Crystal is
the Labyrinth.
1982.
Yeah.
That is a weird dark movie.
Yeah, right. But it's the first time we're exposed to those worlds. We've already seen this one.
Yeah.
Sure. And they've changed it a bit. So the tone is odd.
We've seen a version that's not accurate because one of the big things they kept talking about, all the people involved in the process, is that 1939's Wizard of Oz is a vaudeville inspired musical that was never what the original book was.
Frank Baum wrote, right?
Yes, the L. Frank Baum novel, whereas this is a much more accurate representation of the novels.
But it's too late.
Society wasn't ready for it.
It's too late. We've established this other thing as the thing, and that's what people now know. So it's like, no matter what was originally written, like, this is what we're building off of.
But my understanding is like Frank Baum purists prefer this movie, or there's an aspect to where they actually like this movie.
That makes sense.
Exactly.
What the books are,
And just purely character design. Like, even we didn't really talk about him, but the Cowardly Lion is a much more accurate design to how he appears in the original Wonderful Wizard of Oz. He's much more of a lion, not a human man in a lion costume, right? or even the Tin Man is a human face with the tin costume. We love it. It's great.
Sure.
But yeah, it's a much more. It is the world of L. Frank Baum's Oz.
Yes.
Is this movie? And that being said, I am right there with you, GDL. I am a solid 4 stars.
Wow.
Return to Oz, because I am so taken by this film's effects teams. And it is exactly the kind of movie that I just love watching, regardless of it. I do think it's a good movie. I think it's misunderstood. I do think some tweaks could be made to make it better. And if I'm really analyzing my star ratings, I think this is actually like a 3-star movie for me. But I give it that 4-star because of those effects. It does get that little bit of a bump.
Yeah.
And truthfully, on Letterboxd, I gave it 4 stars and a heart, because it's like I do love it. Like I love it, but I'm not watching it all the time. I'm not obsessed with it.
Yeah.
I've learned so much for this episode about it, more than I've ever known before. But I had a blast watching it, and just being, just kind of like allowing it to, wash over me, right? Just like the river.
So now that I know what to expect, I'm hoping if I do watch it again, it'll be that, and then maybe I can take it in a little bit more objectively. Yeah.
I think whatever your first time is watching, whether you're 3 years old or 40 something years old,
it's traumatizing.
You have to reconcile
100
years or 90 years, whatever it is, of understanding from the MGM movie. And so that, if you'll spend the whole time like, what, this is in Wizard of Oz, and then once you get over that, and then you just watch it as its own thing.
So if somebody said that using the Marvel terminology, like, this is a different Oz universe, or whatever, because otherwise it felt like we were in alternate 1985 where Biff has a pleasure palace, and the schools burned down, and we're like, what happened to my Oz?
Oz A.
We skewed into this tangent.
Sports almanac.
Just
screwed everything up.
Oh man!
I will say, for a little bit of Frank L. Baum trivia, when Nicole was alive and we were here on the East Coast on one of these trips, I think it was right after we got married in like 2013. We were speaking with some family friends who were talking about the Wizard of Oz and saying, "Oh, did you go to Peekskill?" And we're like, "What the hell? Why would we go to Peekskill, New York, right over the border?" And he said, "That's where the original Yellow Brick Road is." And we said, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And I looked it up. And apparently it is true that when Frank L. Baum was going to school, he would indeed get off the boat or the ferry or the train or something. And then he would take this brick road walk this windy road up to the school, which was indeed the Oz in his book.
Oh, that's cool.
And there's only a short section of that original long road still left. And it's like right in the middle of town. And it's this yellowish cobblestone road. But we went there. We took pictures of it. You can look it up online. It's super cool.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah,
that's neat.
And apparently that was the inspiration for.
Is it upstate New York or?
No, well, Peekskill, just outside the city, maybe 40 minutes outside the city.
Okay. Peekskill, cool.
I'd probably just look up original Yellow Brick Road, I would guess.
Yeah.
It'll probably bring you to some Elton John fan site.
Goodbye, Yellow Brick Road. Okay, well, before we get out here, I think we've said everything we needed to say on Return to Oz.
Jay, you're a great freaking guest. Please come back.
He's the best, man. He puts on a killer show every Monday night. Geek Dad Live.
I just followed it on YouTube. Are you on the Instagram too?
Yeah. At Geek Dad Live.
And I think I said it off the top of the show, but I forgot to say the name. But you have your podcast too, Toy Geeks.
Oh, yes, Toy Geeks.
Yeah, with Dan Larson, another legend of YouTube.
Dan Larson and I most every single week we'll break down a toy line 1 year at a time. Right now we're doing Tron. I think I'm gonna post the next episode tomorrow.
Nice.
And so Tron's a little unique in that there wasn't a lot of toys, so we're kind of just doing everything related to the first film, and the second episode will be everything released for Legacy and Tron 2.0, this game that was also kind of the sequel to Tron. But there won't be any Tron Ares toys because they didn't make any. So, speaking of Disney bombs,
yeah, exactly. Everything is tying in this episode. Yeah. Before we say our goodbyes, I just want to. Next week's episode is going to be another family film, but maybe less traumatic. We're going to be doing Follow That Bird.
Oh my Lord! I've never seen this one either.
Has some great cameos.
What wasn't the original intention to see if this was the best year for movies? Why are we doing so many?
You want some inside baseball? It's about the guests I can line up. So next week's guests, we are finally going to get Ryan Dole 31 of Instagram on the show, but he is coming with his podcast co-host Abigail Gardner from YHS and Toy Anxiety is also going to be doing. So we're going to have a double guest next week. Ryan Dole and Abigail Gardner are going to be covering Follow That Bird with us.
Hell yeah, that's great.
So wait, are we doing? It's the day before Thanksgiving. We're doing that.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Got it.
26th. Yeah.
Sweet.
We guys are Canadian. Are you both Canadian?
Hey everybody, we're working over Thanksgiving.
I'm Canadian. Jay is in Los Angeles actually. Normally.
Oh, okay.
Normally, but I'm traveling all around the country. So I'm in Delaware today, and I'll probably be in Rochester, New York next week.
Okay. Because Brandon doesn't give a shit about Thanksgiving.
Nope.
No, I forgot about that.
And I forgot too. I forgot my co-host.
Isn't there some equivalent? Is there no equivalent up there?
Yeah, there's. But yours is like
it was
October.
Isn't it? Yeah, we already had it.
Yeah.
What do you have? You have Boxing Day? No, that's English.
No, we
have Boxing Day.
That's
you do have Boxing Day.
We have Boxing Day after Christmas. Yeah. But yeah, our Thanksgiving is in October.
Yeah.
Well, Geek Dad Life, Jay, where can people find you on the internet?
At Geek Dad Life in most places, except for Twitter, it's Geek Dad Tweets because somebody already got the name there. But everywhere else, it's Geek Dad Life, and check it out. It's all.
I always forget to talk about Twitter. By the way, I did the same thing. I'm Jay Ryan Tweets.
Nice.
Well, speaking of that, Jay Ryan, where can people find you on the internet?
Oh, thanks, Brandon. Jay Ryan Tweets, although I haven't been there in many, many years. Porsche Life 111, please follow it. We're on this USA Grand Tour sponsored by Mobile One, which is amazing for us. Still feels crazy to say
like used Porsches? I'd love to have one.
Yeah, that's usually what we do. We just find them and give them away.
That's perfect.
Actually, Jay Ryan is a car salesman of sorts.
Oh, but a very specific type of car.
He only sells one particular type of car.
Particular set of skills.
Yes. He sells one particular type of car. So if you're interested in a Nolan-verse Batmobile,
do you have a Tumblr?
No, Jay Ryan,
I'm selling them for Warner Brothers.
He's the official salesman for Warner Brothers of the, how many is it? 10?
They licensed 10. Some are already sold, not by me. Please be my first Batmobile customer.
Okay, yes. That's like what's the sticker on that bad boy?
$3 million. There's only 10, and it's 1.5 up front, and it takes a year to build, and then 1.5 upon delivery.
Oh, wait, so I thought there's like just they had them sitting in the warehouse somewhere. These are like
they're being built by by a movie car company who builds like the Hot Wheels cars and all that stuff.
Okay,
and right in the valley.
So Brandon, do you have one on order? It has to be in the collection, right? Or no?
I said the same thing.
I know a guy though.
We should all pool our resources and order one, because part of this is I get to bring you over to the Warner Brothers archives. We get to check it out.
Yeah.
And then they deliver it on the lot. Like it's a whole experience.
We all chip in a little bit. We could all get a piece of the pie, right? Like we all take the tour.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's
every guest on this show. So your invoice is coming.
Wait, is that your long play for this podcast? Every guest contributes, and then it'll be this kind of like timeshare scheme.
Yeah, and you can come and visit it.
Do a 3-hour podcast, and you too have the right to have an option to buy a Batmobile.
Yeah, exactly.
But we need like 51 other friends to do the timeshare.
Yeah. It's doable.
Too cool.
So thank you. Porsche Life 111 Late Night Playset is the other podcast we do. We're obviously on hiatus while I'm on the road, but check it out. There's a whole big bank of hundreds and hundreds of episodes of a late night talk show that we do from my dining room.
Hell yeah.
Great guests. Jay,
Great
please come be a guest on Late Night Playset.
Yeah,
Where are you located? Did you say North Carolina?
Raleigh, North Carolina.
Okay.
But I'm a San Diegan at heart. I'm born and raised in San Diego, but I've lived here now for 20 years. But
nice. I will be headed down back to Atlanta on this trip, so I may actually come through the Carolinas on the way north.
Oh well, just if you want to get a beer, or drink, or coffee or whatever, hit me up.
Have some sprees. Could we enjoy some sprees together?
Hell yeah!
You can share
and
some
you
sprees
have
on
that whole box like that. It was like
it wasn't full, thank God, but it was very rude of me to eat them on the podcast.
I was just like, I was getting hungry. I was like, what got
snacks? Why is he chomping?
What got over there?
Coffee and sprees. What a great night I'm gonna have.
Yep.
Oh
Coffee
God.
spree and return to Oz.
Yeah, I may just watch it again tonight.
There you go. Because you'll
Pop
be
it
up
on.
with a stomach ache.
And then hit me with your updated star rating.
Ooh, yeah.
When you come to this side,
Yes.
the 4-star crew.
Yep. Give it
Oh
time.
man, I could maybe go 3 if I found something redeeming about it, but otherwise, I just, it's the big swing element that I love, but it didn't nail it.
Yeah,
that's fine.
My opinion.
People are allowed to have wrong opinions. It's fine.
Oh, okay. I got one of those.
I am Brandon. You can find me. BC DeLorean is my regular account, but please like and subscribe for a blockbuster year 1985. Find us on Instagram. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to those who listen on the podcast streams. Thank you to Geek Dad Life, Jay.
Yes.
It was an honor to have you on the show. I'm a big fan of you. And this was so much fun. I had an absolute blast.
It was so much fun.
Totally, man. Thank you so much for doing it. Really appreciate it. You're awesome. Can't wait to watch your show.
Yeah, it's great.
It won't be as good as what we just did, but thank you.
Okay.
All right. Good night, everybody. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next Wednesday
next week
for Follow That Bird with Ryan Dole and Abigail
Bird. Yeah,
Gardner.
now I got to go buy Follow That Bird.
Good night.
Night, everybody. Love you.